Alex versus Yang. Oh, it's a calm Yang. Someone put in a coin. And he's not even playing. That's a waste of a quarter. Okay, here we go. It's a real match. That was cool. That was to catch a forward dash. If you parry a fireball, I mean, it depends on where the opponent was when they threw the fireball, but if you parry a fireball and then hit an immediate button, it's very easy to catch a dash because people like dashing after fireballs. How's the volume? Is it quiet? Seems to be pretty quiet, but audible. And that's good enough for me. Out of my way. Echo's super meters are also short. 2 was the longest and it's still not long. Doesn't take very much meter build to get that electric snake, which is cool because Necro doesn't get meter super duper fast. Nice punish. A lot of dizzy on that. Oh. Ken could have definitely punished that from that close. I don't know if like low forward punishes it though. Throw is super dangerous here because, oh, he didn't get the juggle. Now please get it. Okay. He went for the down back fierce. That's pretty precise to time. The strong is easier. And the jab is easier still. On some characters you can get electricity there. I don't think Ken's one of them, but I don't know. Same matchup. I wonder if it'll be a little while before someone comes in here and says something, since it's like 2:24 AM and all that. That low strong. Very nice and high. Oh, he went for anti-electricity and it didn't work. He was too late to activate, I think. Back short meaty, fucked it up. Or maybe it was a deliberate. Maybe he wanted whiffed back short into throw. And he just did it too too late, yeah. Oh, that could have been a super. So look at that. I'm pretty sure Necro super is safe if Ken doesn't have Shipu. I think Ken can punish it. With that Shipu. He was just fishing for the empty cancel, but he hit Ken Metter. That was actually a really cool thing. If Ken did it on purpose, which I don't think he did, he might have. He's probably trying to go over something. But if he did it on purpose, that was a really good way to get Necro to spend some meter. Very interesting bait. Universal overhead, eat a strong, and then Necro spins a bar. He's already done like 3 supers this round. He's working on his 4th. What did I just say? Necro doesn't build meter super fast? I don't know. Maybe he does. Back strong is kind of fast to whiff. I think it's like about the same as Ken's low strong, maybe a bit slower. Here we go. Oh, he went Storm. So this is what most Necros do. They run SA3 in most matchups and then swap to SA1 for particular matchups, like Hugo, where it's a good anti-air. Hugo like hates approaching through normals. It's so difficult because you've got to like parry these low forwards in order to get like positive ground. Parrying a button is not something you can easily do on reaction. That's nice. That's a combo. That super is really fast, so even if it hits Hugo mid-air, which it did there, you can still combo the super. Okay, where the fuck is everyone? I just want someone to say something. Thank you. Good morning. Look at this Hugo and this Necro. Oh, he shook out so fast. Neutral throw gives you a juggle, so even though it does less damage than forward throw and back throw, I think you overall get more damage out of it as Hugo. It's also the biggest mash throw in the game. Most mash throws cap at 6 hits, but Hugo's caps at 8, I think. But of course, if both players are mashing, it'll still usually only get 2 or 3. Anyway, Hugo, in order to approach... Oh, he got him. Neat. That was going to be an annoying parry anyway for Necro. Even getting that initial clap parry wasn't going to make it any easier. Um, in order for Hugo to approach, he either has to jump. Oh, that's funny. He was ready to keep on parrying. He didn't know it was about to stop. He was on the ground, so he actually probably could have done something. Maybe parry into low short. Something to hit Necro out of electricity, I don't know. Cool, that was good. Okay, no, it wasn't good, it was bad. It looked good, though. Right, optimal punish. That's 1 bar max damage, I think, for Necro. And he got a little juggle at the end. I think that's character specific, but don't quote me. It's definitely corner specific. Unless maybe it works, you get mid-screen juggle on Q or something. Wow! The body press just beat the low strong. A trade plus input priority, perhaps. So, you know, you get the raw victory. Hi, Glar. Gutek's stream was something else, wasn't it? I saw you there. I thought he just looked like a new Poison. I didn't think anything of it. It was just like, oh, you picked up this character recently, you're working on stuff, she has a lot of different things you have to be ready for. That's that. And yet, after a little while of him playing, he got into this mood. A little overwhelmed, I think. It's funny because Gutek's, I don't think he played SF5 for that long at release, but he was beating me at release. Like when I was, right at the beginning, I was playing like Nash and Birdie and stuff. And I wasn't very good. And Gutex was actually pretty good. He was like quite a good player. And he was playing Mika back then, and maybe some other characters. And he was pushing me around. And it's kind of funny seeing it now. It's just like, wow, like, I know it's a new character, but... And I know that Mika and Poison basically couldn't get any, they couldn't get any farther apart gameplay-wise. And I know he hasn't been playing fighting games at all for the last like 2 years. But it's very obvious to me that he's mad that he's not playing better than he is. Or like, maybe not mad. Mad might not be the right words. Sad, perhaps. Salty, perhaps. Has higher expectations for himself than he can meet. And also I understand why he has those feelings, because like, I'm surprised he's not playing better than he is. Oh. I just have a night shift job here. It was kind of annoying for me, though, reading the chat, because a lot of people were, like, just trying to write off SF5 as being a shit game. And I could see a lot of things that Gutex was overwhelmed by were fairly simple solutions, but it's just that there were so many of them happening so fast that, of course, it was overwhelming for him. It's like he has 0 exposure to a fucking Kage mashing stomp. Or he's got 0 exposure to a fucking, I don't know. Just every scenario that Poison's in. I don't know why I picked Kage specifically when that was like one matchup one time. Nice, look at that. Oh, it didn't actually get a very good connect at all. If you get behind Necro, it still hits, but it doesn't get very many hits. The hits on the back are not as good. I'm not trying to fucking psychoanalyze Gutex here. But anyway, there was like, I've always said that when you're playing a fighting game, especially more modern fighting games, it's not, being good isn't being super good at specific things. It's more like being pretty good at like 1,000 little things. And he kept on running into like the 1,000 little things that he wasn't good at yet with Poison. And all these people were coming in like, yeah, it's a fucking shit game. And I'm like, no. These things wouldn't be issues if you just fucking did the little things. But I didn't say that. I just kept my mouth shut. I was just chatting about things he could be potentially improving on. I was trying to make it real easy and real, like, you know, it's, I think the one thing is that he's trying to adapt a whole lot at once. Because he definitely had knowledge of a lot of Poison's weirder combos. That looks good. A lot of damage here. But he wasn't often put into scenarios where he had to use them. He was like usually just put into scenarios where he needed very simple combos, like combo from low strong, or just anti-air, or like combo from far forward activate, were pretty much the only combo scenarios he used to be putting in regularly. I think when you're learning a character, it can be really easy for people to come in and start talking about the 1,000 little things you need to get better at. And you'll get, like, a whole huge list of things that you need to improve on. And it's super overwhelming because when you have a huge list of things you need to do, it's really hard to fucking work on any of them. So I was trying to look for very specific things that were happening a lot that also had fairly simple solutions. Supposedly Blanca has a new Monster Hunter costume that's amazing, but I haven't even seen it, to be honest. There might be another one besides the Blanca one. Why am I watching this Kamara get beaten up? I don't like watching Aura get beaten up. The netcode, I feel like, it depends on where you live and it depends on if you're trying to fucking play on wireless or not. But if you search by ranked 4 to 5, I feel like it's usually good. Or like set your endless lobby to 4 or 5. I used to get laggy matches more than I do now. I don't know, I think they did some stuff to it to make it better. Even if Hugo jumps in ready for a long parry, that is a very annoying parry. Yeah, see, this is too. He just got a bunch of meter out of that. It depends. It's not like the 5 isn't the issue. It's the sometimes if the connection is alternating strong and weak, it'll like go to 5 for a bit and then leave 5. Okay, I do want to see this costume actually. Oh, baby. That is a good costume. I can see why Sefric wants to fucking download SF5 just to play that. Or the rest of the round, but yeah. You're left with a desync once it lags sometimes. And that's pretty awful. Or not necessarily desync. A desync is not too common, but you're left with like, you know. You're left with jitters. Snaps. You're left with Diablo. You're left with time has been erased. That's actually punishable. 720. Oh, that is sad. 720 takes quite a while to do. That wasn't even that close to the range where it works. And you can't start buffering it. Unlike SF4 and SF5, you can't start buffering it until you're done blocking. Or else you'll just get hit by the electricity. So that can be a kind of hard punish. Oh, it's a Chun-Li. Necro is okay here. It's definitely not a good matchup. But from what I've seen, it's not horrible. Necro's neutral can actually control Chun-Li's neutral to a degree. Chun-Li's burst damage is a bit better. And Necro's little juggles and stuff work on her. Look at that. He's got 2 fucking sick crouch jab whiff punishes in the same round. You see that parry Chun-Li did? He had to anticipate meaty electricity. And Necro knew that. So he whacked her while she was in parry lock. I guess I'll click on this and people will miss a couple seconds of this. Damn. It's a tiny picture, but I see it. It's just him. Hit. That's the taunt. Power boost. You got it on the throw, I think. I think it applies to throws. Don't quote me. Some do, some don't. I think Ken's doesn't. I think Kuma's does. He's going for low parries. You see that? Walking low parry twice. Aw. That can get another hit, and he didn't get it. It depends on the character. Chun-Li's one of the easiest ones to do it on, but it's still like, he got the 1 bounce, but you can get 2 bounces. It's like a 3-hit super, and you want like the 1st and 3rd hit. Cool little corner escape. Chun-Li probably could have supered after it, but it might have been really precise to get. Chun-Li can probably super that. I wouldn't be surprised. I think that's pretty minus. And Chun-Li super goes just shy of full screen. Super good whiff punish. Neco's backdash goes really far, and it's also pretty fast. Designed to run away. He's not very good at escaping the corner, though. His jump is very slow. He basically needs a back throw. The calm Sean just got the head bounce. That's kind of weird. I didn't know it knew to do that. I don't think it ever happens naturally. Sean starts, versus some characters, if he doesn't have a special intro, Sean starts the round with a ball throw. We can look at it right now, because, you know, how often do we see this? And you can hold directions to steer the ball as it flies. You get a little bit of control over it while it's like up here. And if you successfully hit the opponent with it, it will bounce on their head and give them a tiny dizzy animation. And Sean will start the round with a teeny tiny bit of meter. You can't really see it right there. There it is. It doesn't really matter, but technically speaking, it's free meter, so you know you always want it. There are no Sean mains, so it doesn't really matter. But it's just kind of funny. It's a cute little quirk. SF5 Akuma's parry is it's important that he has it. You usually only see it for anti-airs, and you don't even see it utilized as much as it could be, but I understand it's risky. Akumas don't want to take risks, especially when his other anti-air options are some of the best in the game. You usually only see it for anti-airs, and then like specific reaction punishes, like for example, Nika's charged hard kick. It's quite good. It's good for, hold on, there's like another really big one. Oh, V reversals. It's really good for V reversals. Ooh, nice whiff punish. Holy cow. So if you see someone whiff punish, I mean if you see someone V reverse right as you feature activate, for example, or just if you react in general, you can do that V skill, absorb it, and then get a full combo punish. But what I was gonna say was, ever since season 3 or 4, I don't remember, where they did the you can die during white health, but you take half as much white health when you absorb something. It's been a lot less risky to use that Akuma parry. Now, I don't think it's ever a good idea in SF5 to go for like a Akuma low parry, but I think that it's underutilized to try for an Akuma high parry, because it's not that risky. Most characters can't punish the V-skill punch from super far away. It's got decent reach. That only gets 4 hits on Ken, I think. If it gets 5 hits, it's your damage optimal follow-up. And it's not even just your damage optimal meterless follow-up, it does more damage than his 1 bar stuff. But his 1 bar stuff does a bit more if you only get 4 hits. And I think on some characters you only get 3. Alex is another one of the characters where the double super is quite easy. Ooh, that parry was good, but he didn't go for the second parry. He definitely should have. This is already a super scary position and a super scary amount of dizzy for Alex. This round isn't over, but like, you hate stuff like that. Like, even though he just got a bunch of damage, it's still like, I feel like Necro is so strong here. He gets another super, it's very deadly. That was like a, was that a light shot? That was weird. Oh, very nice. Alex can suddenly win here, if he's lucky. He was not, that was a bad jab. He got a far jab, he probably wanted a close one, I don't know. Close and far jab were dumb there. They didn't do anything, rather. They didn't confirm anything. That's a TC I didn't know about for years. That's not funny. He did another stand jab. What does it mean? Stand jab doesn't lead to anything. Alex has exactly 1 reversal that will get through a throw, and it's SA2. I guess technically SA1 and SA3 will also be throws. Oh, this is scary again. If Necro gets like an air impact strong or air... Whoa, really? No. There's a light elbow. That probably works on medium and heavy, but that was light. Light's only like... Oh, the red! Yo! That just shuts down that whole move for Alex, and he's dead. If your opponent knows how to do that red parry, you literally can't EX slash level at all. And it's reliable and reactable. That's like an unfortunate thing about Alex. The fucking calm Necro, the calm Sean got it again. I think it's good, but it's definitely not fair. But all the characters who exploit it are low tiers, so it's definitely not like breaking the game's balance. There isn't like a high tier character who exploits Dizzy in this game, except fucking Denjin Ryu is probably the closest. That was a weird juggle to go for because he had things that didn't cost meter that were gonna kill. And also that combo is kinda inconsistent. He was too early. It's another one of those things where like it encourages parrying and desperation. And I think this game has a lot of things that encourage parrying and desperation, and that's why it's very easy to get hype moments. SF5 Dizzy I used to have a much more negative opinion on. Well, that's not true. I always liked the way SF5's Dizzy works. But now I like it even more than I used to. And it's because of the changes to like throw mechanics. The thing in SF5 that really makes it more fair is that take the throw has changed so much in like over the seasons. Oh yeah, Makoto as well. Makoto exploits Dizzy. I say 2 Makoto, definitely. I say 1 Makoto a little bit. What was I saying though? I got distracted. Oh, if you get thrown, you're back in neutral, you know? So if your stun is kind of high, but you're not dead to a throw Dizzy, then you can just allow yourself to get thrown and then hold fucking straight back on wake up. And unless you're cornered, that will give you enough screen positions to potentially get your Dizzy back down. And then you only have to worry about characters who can like use an EX bar to force a mix up. Like Rashid. There aren't that many characters who can use an EX bar to get point blank plus. It's like very rare. Poison is one of them. I play Sakura. I have about 5 characters that I can play pretty well. Sakura is my best. I also casually play Ibuki Gael, Akuma. And perhaps a bit of Falk and Blanca too. Oh, he went for the big stuff. I don't know the juggle state when you get that half circle forward kick throw. I don't know if he had more juggles there. He got the Dizzy, but I think he just ran out of JP by that point. Oh, no parry. That was a free one. I would have gotten it. It was a really bad stomp. Ah, see that? It's mine. It doesn't matter if he gets the fucking red parry or not. Or not the red parry, but the full parry. Dizzy does not reset JP. It's a common misconception. What it actually does is it makes moves that don't reset. It makes moves that reset the opponent. It makes them not reset anymore. Which enables new juggles, but it doesn't do anything to reset JP. I should just have a short video showing off that, because I mention it in my long juggles video. Konbanwa Bafkin. Konbanwa Fudo Force. Anyway, I should just have a super short video that's just like Dizzy does not reset JP, and then the demonstration that I can just link. I might make that tonight. That'd be convenient. There are so many scenarios where you normally don't get a juggle at all, but if you get a dizzy, you get something pretty wild. Like elbow cannon, that move, down back fierce. Normally knocks the opponent over, but leaves them juggleable. But back strong resets them. So if you combo an elbow cannon into a back strong, the back strong is the end of the combo. But if you get a dizzy, the back strong keeps them knocked over. I mean, I don't want to be rude to them, I just want to fucking provide evidence. So they're not taking my word for it. I think a lot of people probably would take my word for it, but you know, I'd like to have the video just showing it off. I think Necro went for an early parry there and then was still ready to block. You see that? He was anticipating a very high jump fierce, and he tried to parry it, but then he didn't get it, so he just went to down. He went to back. I would die for Akuma's parry as Sakura. You know what I have to do if someone via versus? I throw them. Akuma gets a full combo. Must be nice. Cool, that's a super far apart parry. This man really comes in here and begs for Akuma in SF5 to get buffed. I agree though. It should be better. Other parts of Akuma should perhaps be worse. I don't think there's really a way to make Air Fireball fair for Akuma. It's completely destructive at a low level, and at a high level it's still okay. It still does some pretty wacky stuff, particularly the VT1 and Air EX Fireball versions. You've been seeing the way Tokido's using Instant Air EX Fireball lately. It's like a zero risk way of keeping Dizzy high. And also potentially getting the Dizzy. It's like a fucking ground fireball you can't jump over. This is probably Murumuru Alex. And the Necro, what's it, Shiba or something? Chiba? I don't remember who the Necro is who goes to these things. We'll see his name eventually. But presently, I don't know. Akuma's the privileged character of every Street Fighter. What does a proper parry mean? You want like a Ryu parry? Ryu skill? I don't think that'd be worth fucking 200 meter. I mean 200 health. If you want like an SF3 parry, then I'd trade like 500 health for that. Having an SF3 parry would literally like make you broken. The worst Akuma's ever been in SF games that I can think of is probably mid-tier. And it's hard for me to even think of a game where he's mid-tier. Maybe some versions of SF4. Honestly, he's probably a top tier across almost every version of SF4, including the latest one. I would say Akuma's a strong contender for top 5 and almost certainly top 10. He's literally too broken to play in Street Fighter 2. He's like solidly top tier in Alpha 3. I don't know about Alpha 2. In this game he's just high tier. But he still gets to, in every Street Fighter game he gets to break the rules a little bit. They have like rules of like what you're allowed to do, and then they have Akuma to be like, yeah, I don't have to follow those. Oh wait, that was weird. That's one of those scenarios where if he blocked it either way, I'd probably block. SF Alpha 2 is quite kind to Ryu and Ken, right? It's like Ryu, Ken, and Rose, and who else? Chun-Li. There's like 4 characters who are noticeably stronger than the rest, I think, but I don't remember who they are. Damn, he is ready with those. This is kill. That's Necro's B&B max damage. I always used to see people complain about Rose when they were talking about Alpha 2. They were like, Rose is the best character. Rose's low strong shuts down the game. It's like a CBS2 button in that game, apparently. It's like Sagat Crouch Fierce. It's the CBS2 Crouch Fierce of Alpha 2. Oh, was it just a free ride for you? I can't think of any bullshit for Sakura and Cody and Alpha 3. The way I heard Rose described in Alpha 2, this is where I was going with the story. It made it sound like she was like the best character by far. Whoa, Brent. He might be out of practice though. I played Brent in Street Fighter 3 recently and I won, but it was like closer than I should have like let it be because he clearly didn't really know how to play the game, but he was like a good player and it was like it was a difficult balance. I'm not very good at exploiting someone's like lack of matchup knowledge. Never have been, never will be. The way I play all the Omega characters, I don't think they'd be very good against someone who'd never fought an Omega character before. Oh, this is where I come in. So you guys can't see, but there's a chat replay on the side because this was an archive of a stream rather than a YouTube video that they edited. And I, on the side, just saw my message pop up that said Konbanwa. I don't know what time it was in Japan when they were having this tournament. It seems to be 19G. Based on the this thing here. Well, I've never actually tried to figure out what these two are trying to say. Is this like casual start at 19G and then the fucking East-West tournament starts at 21G? G is hour. They use 24-hour time in Japan, like most countries in the world. That was a punish, I think. I like strong. You see, Omega DiCaprio would be a good character in general to exploit someone's lack of matchup knowledge, because literally everything you know about DiCaprio doesn't apply. I think if I knew it was happening in advance, I would learn Omega Honda just for that. I think if I was going to play a character and I wanted to just exploit their lack of matchup knowledge, the best I could probably do is T-Hawk. T-Hawk is extremely obnoxious. Maybe you've never fought him before. Cool juggle. Oh, he had more. He actually got more meter doing what he did though. Letting 12 fall and then whiffing buttons. It's cool to see someone style, but he did the optimal thing, and that's also cool. TAS usually just refers to tool assisted. People like to call it TAS because it's more unique, having the 3 letters than the 2. But tool assisted is just using slowdown and save states, slowdown and or save states to get something perfect. So down in save states of the tools that assist the perfect play. Remember the guy tool assisted? Who presumably made that fucking Kareen bot? Remember that? It's so hilarious because Kareen is like the character that plays robotically. In a game where everyone plays robotically, Kareen is the most robotic. Perhaps. If it's a full game playthrough, it would be a super play. Neat. That's gonna get the juggle. Quite a lot of damage on that. Ooh. If you get the SA1 on a grounded opponent, it launches and then gets as many hits as it can after the launch before the JP runs out. But if you hit someone midair, if you juggle into SA1, then you already have some JP existing, and also they might bounce out a little higher. So I usually get kind of gimped combos. I don't know what caused any throw to whiff, I wasn't paying attention. No, I don't want to go back, so you'll just have to wonder about it forever. I'm not aware of either of these characters having any throw immunity at all. There's no way to get like a super jump cancel special move on a normal. Super jump canceled stuff can make you throw immune for a little bit. You can use that for some pretty wacky stuff, but it's all like not really tournament viable. Maybe a little bit of it. Oh, he was reading the question I asked. I said, hey commentators, do any guys here play SF3 online? And the guy read it in English and then understood it, which was kind of cool. Tominaga is one of the commentators on right now. I forget who the other guy is. You need to recognize when the turns are, I think, is important, and how to keep your turn. You can't always keep your turn because you sometimes have to sacrifice your turn to bait in case someone's trying to actually steal it with like a fucking reversal. But generally speaking, most turn stealing that happens is turn stealing because someone like didn't really know the scenario very well. Like someone will do like a fucking 4-frame trap and then the other character will do a 3-frame reversal, and it's like that was a stolen turn. It was a stolen turn because 4-frame traps on characters with 3 frames are not very good. Everyone in Japan knows some English. The main reason for that is because there's a ridiculous amount of English in Japanese now. But also the other reason is because English is compulsory in Japanese schools, and different people will like be different amounts of skilled at it depending on how much they cared. But everyone has like some. So the thing, yeah, that's really common for Ed. So here's the thing, is a lot of characters can do, on Ed in particular, if Ed's -2, for example after a charge stay and fierce, for example after a V-skill, if Ed's -2 and you do a reversal jab, if he doesn't do an uppercut, then you'll jab him and he'll have to block or get hit. But if he does do an uppercut, your jab will recover and you'll be able to block the uppercut. So if you're doing like reversal like 5-frame buttons, if you're doing like reversal fucking close medium kick, or reversal like lights with longer recovery, maybe stand short for him, I don't know. You can get hit by his uppercuts, but you can actually option select against them. Ed in particular, because his uppercut is that slow. You can't normally do that. You can't just willy-nilly do buttons, though. That's like the actual advice that I should be telling you, because I just told you some Ed-specific advice. The actual advice is if someone does something -2 and they show the willingness to uppercut, you should maybe be ready for them to do that again. You can be +2 and you can just like allow, you don't have to reverse. You can wait. Don't late tech. Why the fuck would you late tech if you were plus? You should either do an instant tech if you're plus. Oh, you being minus. Yeah, that can happen with Ed. His reversal's so goddamn slow. Don't be minus. There you go. What does Okuma even have that's minus? Fucking demon flip dive kick? Don't do that. Or, I mean demon flip slide. Yeah, I'd watch a couple of your replays and I'll give you some advice if you want to fucking tell me your CFN. I can go and dig some. But not right now. I'm generally pretty good at spotting some easy things that people can do to up their game significantly. If it's like trying to get to fucking platinum, I can help anyone. But if it's trying to get out to fucking master rank, I can help some people. Tis nomad. Yeah, we might be here a while though, because I want to watch this whole archive. So you might want to try and find me some other time. I don't know if I want to just stop this in the middle, because I want to put this on YouTube. The fuck was that? That's like medium Tatsu into light Tatsu? I don't think so. Medium into medium, maybe. That was a really weird combo. You usually see medium into heavy. If you want to just like leave a comment on one of my YouTube videos. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, you're on YouTube now. I don't want to tell you to upload the replay so I can watch it, because you don't need to do that, because I can just find it on CFN. Akuma is simultaneously a really easy and really hard character to escape silver with. It's because you need to make fewer mistakes than other characters. You get punished more for each mistake you make, because you're a low health character. That makes him hard to escape silver. But also he's a really good character, and that makes him easy to escape silver. If you actually look at the breakdown of how characters do at different tiers, it's hilarious, because Ryu is like super popular up until like platinum, and then he just fucking drops off and there's no reason to dive in. Akuma is pretty popular in all of them, but he doesn't do very well in the low tiers, and then he does really well in the high tiers. Combos win games, but they're not the most important thing. They're like nowhere near. That's just something you should have, but it's not like the first thing you should work on. That's like the big misconception of fighting games in general, is that combos are the first thing you should work on. The actual first thing you should work on is extremely abstract. It's Abare. And working on it in training mode is an extremely complicated fucking thing to try and explain. The actual thing you need to work on is the ability to find hits, basically. That's the skill that matters most in Street Fighter. In low level play, that's usually just anti-airing. Combos only matter once you know how to find hits. But if you know combos and you don't know how to fucking land combos, then it doesn't matter. Experience is the most important thing, but also you need to know what you should be practicing, and that's a lot harder, so I understand why everyone's so bad at it. But most commonly it's anti-airs. It's like preventing approach would be more accurate, because it's not just anti-airs, it's like anti-dash and like raw move and stuff like that. Your Akuma is stand jab. Stand jab is your interrupt. If you don't have time for a stand jab, then it's EXDP, but I wouldn't recommend EXDP. You don't ever need to use EXDP as Akuma. It's nice that he has it, but the risk reward is not good. Oh, Neko's still gonna win. That's an invincible super. And that's a one frame grab, so the invincibility was still gonna be there. That was a lot of meter to throw away. Hugo didn't do it on reaction. He probably already supered. They might have both supered on the same frame. Well, that was cute. Sad. Didn't even get a punish. Meat Squasher was wrong play, I think. He just wanted the corner really badly. The right play was not great, though. It was probably like fucking light button into EX Lariat. Or like low forward. It wasn't going to do that much damage, and it was going to cost meter he didn't want to spend. Yeah. That's a big thing. That's like the most important thing at low level play, is letting the opponent hang themselves. That's like a really big, easy example of a bar.
そんな素晴らしい。
I am very non-committal when I'm playing someone who I read to be a risk taker, which is almost all people in low-level play. I just wait for punishes and then I take the punishes. And I have, air quotes, good defense. I mean, it is good defense, but you know, like, what I'm really trying to say is I have like very consistent, obvious defense that low-level players struggle to break, which is mostly just down back and maybe straight back, depending on my range from the opponent, and maybe the occasional late tech. I late tech more on bad players than good players, actually. Oh, it happened again. Yeah, if someone's doing blocks reversals in their block strings, if someone's doing like, well, I mean, technically -2 into reversal works anywhere, at any skill level. You can see even fucking Gachikun do like -2 into EX Mixer. Maybe not Gachikun. Well, yeah, you can see him do it, but like maybe JB or someone. Maybe a different kind of, more EX Mixery kind of Rashid. But, if someone's just willing to do those attacks, you know, you don't have to fucking hit a button when someone's -2. A lot of people, a really common issue people have at low-level play is they do the same thing every time. I did watch Canada Cup. It was good. Just among got pretty far with Poison. That was kind of hype. Right? Or was that first attack? They have him back to back. I think it was Canada Cup. Oh, it didn't combo. He got the cancel. Juggle? This can kill? Oh, I thought I could. I think he gets... Oh, here we go. He had more. I like how everyone collectively decided that Rashid is top, like, 2. I don't think that's wrong. I just think it's funny that everyone decided it all at once. The Rashid players have been doing too well. I kind of knew. I already thought Rashid was a pretty good character, and then I saw the season... I, like, went back and looked at my Season 4 changes list, and I watched the Rashid one. I was like... I think even in that video, I was like... Why did they buff Rashid? I kind of knew that Rashid was kind of stupid. Top, I probably wasn't predicting. I was thinking he could be top. I didn't think he would be better than, like, Akuma. But now it's like, maybe he is better than Akuma. Akuma's still my personal top 1. And then I'd round out some other top tier characters right now. Probably Kareen. I think most people agree with Kareen. Who else is top tier? Birdie, perhaps? Maybe? Akuma just has a lot of options, especially in the high level play. He's like safer than other characters because he has defensive measures that a lot of other characters don't have. The air fireball's not a huge factor, although in VT1 it is pretty nice. He gets like really weirdly good conversions where other characters don't. Like a lot of characters just get spin stun on their crush counters, right? Which means they get forward dash into like a button, and it's usually like a light button. Akuma has like a crush counter that just crumples, and then not only does it crumple, but his combo from it is a juggle. It's back fierce, which means that the opponent can crumple like any amount, and the back fierce will still work and have the same combos. No, Akuma's not banned from any tournament that I'm aware of. Also, I'm watching a Calm Alex get beaten up. The thing that you might have guessed is that if you... No, this is... Okay, so... Probably watched... Someone watched, the JP Leagues that have been happening recently. And those... I don't know the Necro player. Those JP Leagues have... You get to... It's 3 versus 3, and you get to ban one character on the opponent's team. And I think the team that Tokido was on, they, like, banned Akuma. And the team that Gachikun was on, they banned Rashid. Stuff like that. So those players have to pick secondaries. And that keeps the best players on the team on a closer level to the not as good players on the team. Tokido's secondary is like not crazy compared to like Shuto, Urien, or whatever. Oh, tell me. So technically speaking, recently Akuma was banned from a couple tournaments, but only on a specific team that Tokido was on. Ratio tournament, is that like you have to balance the fucking good and bad characters on your team? You only have like so many points, and Akuma will be expensive, but like Ed would be cheap, like that. I've done those for other games. Those are those kinds of tournaments are the kinds of tournaments Japan has. We've got a tournament standard in America, and we don't like to deviate from it, I've noticed. Like, when's the last time you saw a round robin US tournament? Like an invitational kind of thing. We always go for the numbers. Not a lot of invitationals here. Isn't there a Red Bull invitational? Yeah, technically speaking, Akuma can get his regular combos off of Crush Fierce, even if it crush counters. So medium kick will still hit the opponent before they're knocked over. Ooh, look at that. And of course you get the double scaling on crush counters. I don't know. Oh, are you a VT2 Akuma? VT2 is really good, I think, for Akuma, but it's not as good as VT1. And it's also harder to use. But I think it is one of the better triggers in the game. It's just that VT1 is even better still. VT1 from Akuma is one of the best triggers in the game. But I would still say Akuma VT2 is like a top, maybe top 15 trigger, maybe top 10. Probably between top 10 and top 15. It's quite good. It's on the good end. It's notably quite cheap. Tokido, when VT2 came out, Tokido had a little stint where he was using only VT2, and he did a lot of the really cheap stuff that it does. For example, the really high chip setups. That is quite nice. Technically speaking, both of them can do Fireball into VT, but VT1 can do it on whiff, and VT2 has to do it on hit or block. So if you're VT1, you can do Fireball into V-Trigger, and if the opponent jumps the Fireball, you can DP them, for example. Being able to do it on whiff is super helpful, because it also lets you like cover without being close. You can just cover your approach. And you can do that whenever you want. There's zero risk. They're not going to be able to get a punish even if they jump in reading it. In fact, you punish them if they jump in reading it. Oh. And you don't have to be close to start it like you do with VT2. Akuma VT2 got nerfed a bit, but it also got buffed a bit. I think it lasts a little longer. You get like more chance to actually use 3 VT moves. That was like impossible when they added it. I don't remember if you can do Red Fireball VT with VT2. I don't think so, because that one's quite good as well. People like to hold up forward when they see a Red Fireball. So if you do Red Fireball into VT1, you get an uppercut quite reliably, and there's no risk if they don't jump. So. Makoto had to guess when the parry was. That was like a dungeon setup. That's hilarious. You almost never see Urians charge the fireball. That was literally exactly the same as a dungeon setup, except it was only one parry. Charging the fireball doesn't add a hit, it literally just delays it. It's not a charge, it's not a fireball charge. It's a fireball delay. He can choose to hold the fireball and not release immediately if he wants. That's quite good. I'm assuming that's with 2 VT moves and if you're already in trigger before the combo starts. That's still quite good damage though. See that? Almost certainly Makoto's quick stand input is during this freeze, which means that this mirrors perfectly timed so that this input that Makoto does never comes out at a, like, it won't be read during the freeze, and then after the freeze he's got like 1 frame to do it before he lands. That's why Makoto didn't quick stand there. It was super duper hard to quick stand. I do that with Oro. I look for those. You try to super right as the opponent was right about to hit the ground. Remember when Capcom was like, we're going to remove Akuma's ability to juggle after super in the corner? And then they didn't. They just made it more specific. For example, in BT1, you can do a V-skill kick, or a light tatsu. Let's say a light tatsu. You can do a light tatsu, and then a VT1 fireball, and cancel that to super. And then you can juggle a full connect VT1 uppercut. I do remember that. But I never played it. It was like Crush Counter Slide, right? Caused to pop up? I don't remember. I forgot all about that. That was like the online one, wasn't it? I think that was in a playable version. Was that in the second beta or something? Third beta? It's a shame that she didn't keep that move because the air lightning legs has like an identical function. So Chun-Li could have had the cooler looking move, but instead they just gave her the one that was more standard to her moveset. There was probably a point in development where she had air lightning legs and that pinwheel. Cool. That parry is less difficult than it looks. Oh, Tomy, you choke artist. You're gonna get something super cool like that and then you just choke a Fukiage combo. Carcass combo. This is a mirror. Wait, that's a real person.
じゃあこれの試合最後で
You guys see that FGC translated where they got Kuroda on? And they were talking about Third Strike players and entertaining a much lower success rate than other fighting game players when entering SF5. I didn't notice that, so I was surprised. I don't know if it was necessarily true. Might have just been Kuroda being a fraud. Not putting in the time and the effort. Ooh, that's good. Ha! That was parry to the right. Hugo had the read. Oh, it didn't get her. Sad. That very late shitty axe kick actually kept him midair just long enough.
そろそろやるでよ
He was trying to. Hugo was doubtlessly trying to do some kind of parry sweep or something like that.
お試験がいるじゃないですか
Oh, it wasn't a punish. He couldn't quick stand because it was a super knockdown.
何何
And even though he got the earliest possible stand and the earliest possible SPD, which might be his fastest move, it still wasn't in time.
おばちゃん実況が恋しいなるほどいない
Kuroda played Street Fighter 4, but he wasn't that great at it. Kuroda apparently plays SF5 and is apparently not that great at it. It's funny because they were talking about LP and how he had like 1000 LP or something like that. And I was like, huh? And they were talking about, I assume they were talking about the Japanese arcade version of SF5, which now exists. Because they mentioned Momochi being #1, and I was like, huh? Because I was thinking about Trashbox. And, what's his name? Iwate, who have been fighting over the #1 spot for a while now online. But they weren't talking about online. I think Zangief is a character who has some bad matchups.
俺とコーシュンさん同じチームになってる
And for the record, so is Abigail. But Abigail is, I feel like, overall better in his matchups, and also like he has different bad matchups than
さんはそこにいるん
Zangief.
ですよ
Well, there's some that are the
ゲ
same.
ー見たいって
But
なんかやってんの
いやなんか
I feel like people point to Geef and say this is a bad character or this is a good character, and like which one they say is based on which character they play.
どうもご無沙汰です
Geef is bad because he has a bunch of 5/5s or even 6/4s, but then he has a couple like 4/6s against like
そう
common
見えるだけ
characters.
だってあれ昇竜拳打たれたら終わるから
30k, that was it.
昇竜拳ジャンプ式出して
Yeah, he was probably talking about the arcade version.
いやそれはない
あ戻ってきたじゃあやりますかい先方
I'm assuming. I was just thinking about it. All right, so the tournament's actually starting.
でおこれ
There's no Ibuki, sorry.
うんさあ
Just go watch all the 30th replays. Not yeah, from Wednesday Night Fights recently, and you'll see Bunks as Ibuki, which is okay.
対戦を始めていきたいと思います皆さんよろしくお願いします
It really is okay, by the way. It's an okay
どん
Ibuki.
どんどんパフパフどんどんどんさあ本日は物理講師のコウシュンさんに来ていただいております皆さんありがとうございますこれはなんとお土産ですなんかいつも見てくれている人たち
Of course, he's getting better. It's no question. Do you ever play him?
多分もしかしたら静岡の方かもしれません
You ever been there in his little Fightcade lobby?
みかん
You challenged him?
これみかんが入ってんだあいやいやいやいや違う焼き菓子って書いてあるみかん焼き菓子をいただきまし
He's
た
a quick learner. Reminds me of me when I was
そう
learning.
ですよちょっと提供入れていきましょうか本日の
Seven threes.
宇治原製菓株式会社
I'm skeptical of whenever anyone mentions a 7-3 in SF5.
え OKD さん OKD さんあと言ってる間に OKD
There's a Dare Discord and I'm not in it.
ありがとうムルムルさん。土下座さん。
I played 7-3s in Third Strike, and I don't think I've seen a match that looked like a Third Strike 7-3.
グローバル化。
7-3s are quite common in this game.
最強クラスのお土産
I think people use 7-3 when they want to talk about a match that's worse than 6-4.
お楽しみは取っておきましょうと言ってる間に2番目土下座さん
赤いテールブかっこいいな。
はい一時期12最強説ありましたからね
But I don't know if I really believe in the presence of a 7-3 in SF5. Maybe like a few.
そうやばいよねそんなこともあったなと
Falk, Geef, 7-3. I could see Minot, and I could see Birdie. And I could probably also see Abigail.
脱
I don't know, that's, yeah, there's a lot of those characters are pretty bad matchups, aren't they?
これね赤風呂ね見せないとね
Damn, look at these
で
lists.
も赤風呂してるよ俺
I definitely agree that
は
Akuma
ことによって相
is...
手はちょっと嫌がる
Sakura beats Geef, no one told me.
赤風呂しないと。
I definitely agree that Akuma, Falk,
何も入んない
Yuri, and maybe Mika? Definitely Birdie. I wouldn't be surprised by Lucia. Definitely G. Oh my god, the chat won't scroll.
苦しい
Definitely Rashid, definitely Sim.
めくり
Don't know about Laura.
あ、ピヨった。
Don't know about Laura. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying Laura wins. I'm not saying she loses. I just don't know. Definitely Guile. Definitely Colleen. Definitely Minot. So a good number of these characters I can verify are good against Zangief. He definitely has a lot of bad matchups. I don't know if I believe in 7-3s, but like a lot of those are definitely like 6.5s. They're close, or like at least 6s. You want third remastered Mike Z patch? Yes, I think a lot of people would want that. I think a lot of people would want that purely because of the video I made where I read it.
3人目の登場はバルニャンさんです。
あこれ見えないけどメイン
あ、
モニター
ね、オッケーオッケー。
クリックすればいいんだ
ね、ここら辺、ここら辺。はい。そうさあ、ここで登場がバルニャンさんです。
投げて皿投げて外足がすげえ減ったんだ
I remember hearing a Skullgirls thing that someone was complaining about, or like laughing about would be more accurate because it wasn't a complaint. But apparently, like,
バルニャンさん。
they needed a new voice line in Skullgirls in one of the patches for like one of the other characters. And Mike, they didn't have the voice actor or actress or whatever anymore. And they were like, Mike Z apparently like did the voice line himself. And also he like, I don't know, he like stuttered or coughed or something during the voice line and they still used the voice line. It was like something like that. And it's like, what kind of dev is Mike Z where they can't get the fucking original person back, so fucking he does it himself and then he coughs and he still uses it. I don't know if it was a cough. It's probably a stutter.
これ多分未だに
I don't even know if the story is true, but it was a funny story.
マーブル vs カプコンですか？
マブカ普通だったらダルシムのエヴァもできる
やるじゃん。あ、それ俺より強そうだから。
Grapplers with momentum are cancer. Mika, Laura, and Zangief to some degree. Zangief's not as bad as the other two.
元気になったんだけど。
Are all grapplers with momentum, and that is cancer.
あ、でも
Abigail and Birdie do not have momentum, and therefore they are not cancer.
なんで？
Even though Birdie is better, and Abigail is better
最強じゃね
than most of those other grapplers.
あ、これは削り切った。
え高木君ぶっちぎりで最強じゃん
These are my opinions, and I understand if you don't agree with them.
ぶっちぎりだったんですね。さあでも今日はサードストライクですよ。今日は。
レミ確かさ
はい。
EX エルボーをガードした後、
うん。
移動の SA
あ、移動。
SA1 が入るよ確か
でも結構むずくね。
ピエロが安定してやってた
マジか。やっぱピエロは違うんだな。
ほらレミ波動コマンド持ってないから
Ooh, very cool.
やりやすいんだよ
It's so late, but the juggle potential is still used up, I think. Oh, he hit a
ダ
bun.
メキャラですからね。
This is fair now.
おー、やる
Yeah, that was a free parry. That was really dumb.
からの。
It was not dumb, it was just a read. He just read a fireball, and Remy recovered in time.
最強
Damn, that was a big comeback. Remy's not good at comebacks.
二段構え。
The second super he did was safe on block.
続きましてドライさん。
ドライさん
ドライさんです。
Yeah, Abigail doesn't need a lot of resets
ドライさん
to get his kill, because VT2 does so much goddamn damage. And also because his dizzy output is pretty high. He doesn't have a whole lot of moves that give good Oki. He does, Back Fierce Fierce gives good Oki, and so does Abigail punches in the corner. But he really only needs one reset, right?
ドライさん頑張って
And also, he doesn't need to move point blank to have like a mix up on you.
いや、いけるっしょ。
レミはね1日3回までって決まってんだよ
え、もう
I thought run grab only had Oki if you got like the EX run grab.
いやの試合に残したから
の試合、の試合
I don't actually remember. I like heard the rule with that one time and then I forgot it.
東西戦中にさ、当たってさ。
俺のミッドオンライ
Is that Daimon from KOF 98? It's poison.
PA とかありっちゃありだね
だって
Hugo gets bonus defense if he taunts. That can be very good in this matchup where Remy struggles to prevent the taunt, and also more HP would be very helpful.
あードライさん久しぶり。
俺も開幕やろう今度レミありだな
ドライさん久しぶりに
Down forward C, is that the one where he kind of swings his arm backwards and upward?
忙しくて全然来れなかったって言ってましたね。
俺来た時100%いるんだけど
そう。
For the record, Abigail's EX command grab, although I am kind of
更新祭
baffled at why it's got such powerful conversions.
テレパシーの
For the record, it does have negative range.
更新祭
アナゴさんいるのは聞いてなかった
嘘。アナゴさんね、結構ね、遊びに来てくれてますね。
最近来る
最近は。
I wouldn't like Mike Z's punishment for guest parries kind of stuff, but also I don't think it would affect that much. I definitely wouldn't like taking more damage during parry lock. That sounds like awful. I don't know, I'd want to play with it. I'd want to see how it felt. Because I also get guest parried a
これ
lot.
カラーなんですね。あ、そういうこと
And I do like encouraging hard reads
あ、そうだ、ごめん、
rather than
そうだ、
like
聞いて
just
なかった。
guessing,
ご
because parries
ご
are
めん
really strong.
ちょっと
What is this?
ちょっとお土産。
Watch out, Remy's taunt stack, I think.
ドライさんからの
He's getting a fucking dizzy up increase.
はいで
Next hit he gets is going to do so much dizzy, I bet.
してましたね
Oh, there it is. No, it did none.
ドライさんのお土産はですね、ノック式ラバーグリップボールペン。
Remy's got like the second longest duration taunt in the whole game, and it's also got like the fucking most useless effect.
これバーサスで使えるってことですね。でとりあえ
This
ず
is some nice footage right here. I think I saw Remy for a sec there.
この提供を
Okay, it's back to normal.
ここからの東西線の提供はなんだろう
Nice.
台に作るって書いて
That's an annoying parry.
大蔵産業の提供えもう一個あんのもう一個あんのかちょっと早く
What is
してくんない
happening?
試合中なんだからさ試合中なんだから早くしてくんない
Remy like can't get a dizzy, so his taunt increasing his dizzy output is like a joke.
ああ
What's that supposed to do?
これでもよく見てこれネット入りって書いてあって
And it's only for like the first hit after the taunt. But like none of his attacks do high dizzy at all. Look at that jump strong, it got a decent amount. In KOF you can literally just have either a meaty command grab that's unblockable or like a meaty low short that combos to the command grab that you can do on reaction.
今さんお願いします
Daimon can literally just do fucking low B and then link his command grab
これどこの
on reaction to the fucking successful low B.
あの有名な武蔵小あの有名
That's pretty
な
stupid.
浸水した武蔵小杉
I think Daimon is usually considered to be top tier in that game along with the clan leaders.
はい多分
Kyo and Iori and what's her name? Chizuru.
ついに気づいた
And then also I think the Yagami or not the New Faces team is supposed to be really strong. Or at least Chris and Yoshiro. I think Shermie's a bit worse. I think that's like the top tier of KOF 98 based on what I've seen.
でうち
Most teams are like fucking Yoshiro and Kyo and then any third character.
そう
It's like 2 top tiers plus whoever your favorite character is.
だから俺の大先輩ですねこの世界を救う
いやお前世界壊す
いやいや
お前は壊してる
俺壊してないし
壊してる
壊してないよ
ここでみんなにアンケート取ろうよ
That's me. I just guess parry all day, and if I get cliff medium punch, I
お
kill.
前のこと好きなや
That's how I play.
なんてこと言うの
I don't give a fuck if it's blocked either. That's the best part.
いるからちゃんと見てチャット欄チャット欄見てみんない
ないいないいないいないいない
みんなプロのチャット勢しか
お今の下がり中間いいな
お
いてえ異常に
New Faces team were really popular in KOF 98. It's weird that they didn't come back. I think they came back for 2002 because that brought back like everyone,
やばい
and I think that was pretty much it.
無理しないでからのさあ
He probably had a cool blue kick there, but it might have forced a
から
partition to get the flash kick.
いいよいいよいいよ時間使っていこう時間
やばいやばいやばいやばいやばい
我慢我慢
Every character I play in KOF when I play is a character with a fireball and a DP. And I just throw fireballs and I do DPs.
いいねいいね
これは
Interesting use of meter.
ある時間がないけどって
Wow, you need to like say this to every single dev in the whole industry. I mean, I know why New Faces never came back. It's because they all died.
天才
That's a pretty good reason.
3人目で出したんだけどこれ拾い物
これは強く
The other two like sacrificed themselves to put Orochi in Chris's body.
結構やり込んでます
or something like that.
毎週トレーニングを欠かさず
It was canon at some point that they were all killed, but now they might just be back for no particular reason.
ここはね苦しい
Because they've been appearing in the backgrounds of stages and stuff.
PA できるんだよ
あ本当に
できるできる
間に合うんだ
間に合う間に合う
うわ
But Mature and Vice have been dead forever, and they're in every game, so...
児玉さん
Mature and Vice have like one game where they were alive. It was like KOF 95. They like died in that, and they're still in every game.
あの前回ちょっと前の方でお願いしますみたいな感じで言われたんで
Oh, so it's like a ratio. Yeah.
無双されてこれはあかんと
名もなき修羅だった
そ
Can Ash come back to life? He didn't even die. He got erased.
先方ではなくて児玉さんは先方
That's like worse than dying, I feel.
4人目ですね。4人目の児玉さんですね。さあ、圧倒的のこのスタンチ。これやっぱ凡勝のね、スタンチがね、やばいです、ね。
Ash did actually get erased, if that's what you're asking.
はい。これも結構あれなんだ。
お、うまい。
うまいでしょ
Ooh.
うまいでしょ
え、これ4人目。
いやいやいやいや。これが先方に来た日があっ
I
た。
always saw Lucky as bottom 1
まずい
in tier lists in KF98.
止めましたよ、ついに。もう分かりましたよ。
レジェンド王かもしれないよ。アナゴさんみたいな。
確かに昔ちょっとやってたやけど、
最近の人誰も知らなくてさ。
Poor Heavy D. Heavy D is one of my favorite KF characters, but he's on a team with two like complete like
前
schmucks.
からやってましたよっつって。いやでもこのラウンド
Heavy D is honestly a super cool fighting game character design.
さあもう一本たまるぞ。あーこれは
And he's chilling with fucking Brian and Lucky, who are like extremely shitty characters.
マジでゼロドット。さあ怖い。
To put it in perspective for people who don't know all three of them, they're the USA Sports team, which is already like a meme because like no one cares about USA Sports like, outside the US.
両方さん
But the three sports represented are football, American football, whatever, hand egg,
そうですね。
and basketball and boxing. And boxing is like an actual martial art. So like the boxer is
両方
an actual martial artist, and he's quite cool. That's Heavy D.
いろいろ使え
But then the other players are just the other USA Sports team are just like a really big guy who tackles you, who fucking throws himself in a spinning disc and it's so stupid, and a guy who throws basketballs at you. They have really ridiculous designs. They're like designed to look like they don't really know how to fight. And Heavy D does look like he knows how to fight. He uses like actual martial arts. But because he's on a team with two like completely ridiculous characters, he's never come back.
炎となった無敵だ。そういうことなんですよ。これも相手はもうすでに2回死んでますからね、これね。
最初のチェスト多分ゲージなかった。
嘘。
ギリギリ黙ってなかった。その後の壊しで光った。
なるほど。
Yeah, people get rearranged. The teams get rearranged quite a lot. The women's team is like different characters every game, for example. Mai's usually the leader, but like the other two women swap quite frequently. There are some teams they like to disrupt and some teams they don't like to disrupt.
そうでしょ。
But they haven't done anything with the Team USA Sports.
俺は画面ちゃんと見てる。ってことは画面見ないで勝ってるお前は誠にが強いってことでしょ。つまり富永はクソってことです。
違う、俺は運がいい。
What about Nelson? He's a boxer. He's cool too.
いやまだ死なない。
He's actually a pretty neat new design. His gimmick is that he's like an amputee, which is pretty weird, but he just uses like a fucking prosthetic arm. And it literally, like, it means nothing, I feel. It's cool to have some amputee representation, I suppose, in a fighting game. That's definitely the only time I've ever seen that. Excluding, like, Oro, who's not an amputee, but he does fight with one arm. But it's, like, it doesn't affect his gameplay in any way, you know? Nelson's gameplay is super cool. If I had some time to invest into KO14, I would definitely play him. He would be one of my three. He's got, like, that fucking, he's got like what's her face? On Hell. He's got like her style of gameplay, but like even weirder because he doesn't have standard special moves either. At least On Hell has like actual specials.
今の投げ抜けできるの。
パンダッシュ投げ。さあそうこれクイック難しいんだよねちょっとね。
This is just a gif of Brian spinning. I've seen some great fucking replays of good Brian players.
まだボールはまだボールはまだ生きてた。
What the fuck is this mess?
どうなる？
Why is this still happening? There we go, it's over.
微妙。
The red parry was good, but he shouldn't have gone for it as soon as he did, to be honest.
ブロールしかなかった。
He should have like blocked until he had to parry,
なるほど。あ、
and then parried.
それもありだね。
That way he could have gotten the red parry like he did in just a few parries and he would have been alright.
そう
I've seen extra Brian doing like fucking 20 hits of chip with just a fucking
相当頑張ってます
UFO landing on the opponent, whatever. And I've also seen like Brian's literally run the clock by like instant air UFO and like spinning off into space, and it takes like 5 real seconds for him to come down.
富永さんねお土産もらってますけど
It's so gimmicky.
ランクのお土産となっておりますこれ知ってますかこれ
It seems to do some super interesting stuff.
そうこれ白エビのせんべいなんですよこれ絶対うまいやつなんですよ山源さんのお土産ですこれ
It seems like one of those moves where it's like hard to land it, but also it's almost impossible to prevent it.
でこれ提供入れていきますかここからの東西線の提供は、株式会社相葉食品の提供でお送りしております
Sorry, let me talk about Akuma.
山源さん
Look, he just got hit by Akuma. Oh yeah, see that? I didn't know Ibuki could do that until Bungus told me she could, and I kind of doubted him, to be honest. I was like, no way. That instant super was super weird.
ワンチャンスライディングとかって刺さるやつあれ
I don't know if I'd call this one chance like they did. This is kind of still even, to be honest. Oh, that was a bad slide.
パクったっぽいっすね
The punish was kind of questionable. Left forward is not very fast. Left strong might have been better.
あこのみかんもみんな食ってく
Or
だ
like
さ
a
いね
reversal tatsu or something. Whoa! That was a weird neutral
この
jump.
なんか海賊金貨チョコは別に食わなくてもいいからドライさんの
KF is just Street Fighter, except there's only 4 buttons, and also there's hopping.
これもじゃあ開けるこれは別にまだいいじゃあこっちの山
Nice.
こっちの山源さんのこの
Teleport away. Buki cannot chase that with a super, or technically she can, but she has to be midair. So it's not very practical.
さあトイやばい号機
The slide was good, but he's got so much work to do.
お
Ooh.
ー
Instead of getting low parried is not a very important thing,
あ
to be honest.
ーそこは
またお尻で雑巾が
If it was possible or impossible to low parry it, I feel like it would change almost nothing. I've only seen a few stand jabs get low parried in all the time I've ever played this game. People don't stand jab very much.
海外勢フェイス
It makes sense that they just wanted,
こいつアメリカじゃないかな
アメリカなんだ
わかんない
they didn't want like a light normal that was high parry only.
フェイスあ来た来た来た
The only reason low short is low parry only is because there's just so few lows. So few low only parries. Most characters only have like 3 or 4. But if it's a light normal, the fact that they've got like no reactable startup or like very low commitment means they just wanted your parries to be more accurate against
確
those.
かにそういうおしゃれ機能使って
So
作業効率
they want you to be able to not have to be right in order to
なんか今
get those
物理
parries.
っぽかったねなんかデジ
So they parry believe the direction.
関係ねえよ何言ってんのお前
I like understand the logic, but people don't really stand jab. Most characters don't stand jab that much in this game. Whoa, they dash through each other.
海外勢
You see that? And then Akuma got a fucking throw going to the left anyway. But technically there was a fucking dash through first. When 2 characters dash at each other in this game, it's quite common. Not common, but like it can happen for them to dash through each other if they're both dashing. If only one's dashing, it never happens. Also certain moves and also dashes, you can have some pass-throughs every now and
違
then.
う俺もああいうの欲しい
Yeah, lights are very not good in this
ご
game.
縁だもんあの技
They do so low damage that it almost, like they do like the same amount of damage that Chip does. So they're almost invariably used for one of 3 things. It's confirming if you have light confirm into super. It's ticking if you've got like a tick throw. Lights do very low pushback compared to every other attack in this game, which does pretty high pushback. And it's interrupting if you just want to fucking get a button out and you want to hit the opponent as fast as possible out of whatever they're trying to do.
じゃんかよこれ
A light normal can be good for that.
だってチラシがすげえ減ったも
I'm
ん
sure you guys have been seeing my stand shorts lately at Wednesday night fights.
これ
That's what that's for.
ミスタードー
I use far stand short to check the opponent's approach every now and then. I use close stand short as a tick into throw.
毎週
I don't use any lights for confirming because Oro cannot even combo a light into anything
またですか
at all.
毎週
His only light combo is like
よくある
stand short, stand forward, TC.
つまりライバルっていう
かもしんない順番も近いし
Yeah, I use it a lot in 3 stones. There you go. When I have stones up, I use lights all the time.
ライバルだよね
But Oro's whole character changes when his stones are up. It's very similar to soccer, actually.
毎週当たる来れば
My entire game playing with soccer, it changes once I got VT2 up.
全然違うじゃんか。
I'm just playing a different character.
フェイスが赤い方で
そう
いいよ
ミスドが
Jeb Antier is another thing that people use lights for,
ゲージ差がでかい
あ
and it's very dependent on the character.
俺対ひろゆきくんって言ったのこの色で判断したでしょ。色で判断したでしょ。あちょ
I don't think Crouch Like Kick and Toriyama works.
見た
Oh, unless you're talking about the 3-stone
そ
version.
れは画面見てるよ。
Crouch Like Kick might combo into uppercut, or at least EX uppercut.
ねちょっとさそのまんまだよねちょっとさ。
Mr. Donut versus Face. These are like Korean handles, right? This is how Koreans name themselves.
散々俺に言っといて。
うまいけどチュンリーはこっから死ねるんだよ
あうわ
あるよ
Sand Light Punch, Sand Light Kick is a one-frame link, and it literally does nothing.
うわ投げが
It's a big meme.
ね
Oniyama is the DP. Yeah, you're right.
カシ君
I'm dumb.
カシ君今日
Yeah,
来
you
たのは
that does work, but you wouldn't do it. I read Oniyama like the command grab. The command grab's name is like Human Pillar Driver. I don't remember the Japanese name of it. Something Ricky,
9号
俺
と
ユリアンとやりたくねえよ
but not Neo Ricky.
まあいいんだよ
さっきも言ってたからね
No, maybe it is Neo Ricky.
何がいいですかねカシ君
カ
は
シ君のキャラみかん食べてね
みんなみかん菓子食べてください
カシ君のキャラ
ダットリー
I would never do that with Crouch Like Kick. I would rather do that with Crouch Medium Kick. And also, I think it has to be EX Oniyama.
ダットリーがいいでダッ
But
ト
I
リー
would like never use that combo anyway, because when would I?
D を選択
I don't know a single time that I would use that.
俺はでもカシ君でもあまりにもさいっぱい使いすぎて
Oniyama to SA2 and EX Oniyama to SA2 are both interruptible if they block the Oniyama. If the Oniyama hits, then SA2 will not juggle, but EX Oniyama SA2 will juggle in a useless way. So it's like terrible all around. If people don't know the matchup, they can like block the super though.
でもこれコーシュンさんさユリアンとダットリーだったらまだダットリーの方がマシになる
ダットリも良くない
ダットリーも良くない
良くない二度と起き上がれない
やはり人類皆平等みたいなところがありますから
Oof.
これ平等だからね
これはもう平等
女子供男もうみんな
I think if they do stay medium punch the way they did Akuma back fierce, it could probably not be stupid.
アメリカ海兵
And if they gave him just like, I can see them cutting it down a little bit. If it's just like
特殊部隊でも
close, strong, medium stomp, uppercut, I can see them doing that.
ボトムズ
そう
I can also see his combos, his Tengu Stone. If his Tengu Stone is a trigger, I can see them just leaving them all intact.
最強の特殊部隊ですよだって
Close, strong, 2 hits, VT activate,
ヘッドショルダー
roundhouse towards strong repeat.
うんマ
バラは無理だよ
ジで
うまいあ人類平等パンチ
Ooh.
人類平等だった
人類皆平等
They probably won't do that, but I don't think it would be broken or outside the spectrum of the game.
ダットリー
9号なんだけど
You'd hit 10% really fast with Oro Tengu Stone combos.
ダットリ結構
So giving him long combos that end up not doing very much damage would probably not break the game in any way. Chicken's a Rekka. I'm scared. Oh no, it's this matchup. Oh, see how he got the really deep air normal and then he used it to buffer, or he used it to cover his overhead?
はい
ジュニアさんこの位置ってことは俺期待
That was cool. You got a whiff punish.
そうよ
超後ろの方
でももうジュニアさんがいなくなった
No juggle after the towards medium kick. Normally you only do that towards medium kick if you want to get the juggle. It's like uppercut, but maybe he doubted whether the uppercut would hit, which I don't blame him because that's shitty.
まあカシ君はもうキャラ体のみで
ダットリの中間が強すぎるんだよね
そう
You usually just see like ducking upper
中盤は4フレです
4フレ地獄の4フレ
in place of like towards medium kick stuff.
中攻撃
If you don't want to go for the juggle into uppercut.
これ以外に何かありますか
あのゲームわかんない
俺もわかんないんだけど多分
あんま聞かないよ
ないよねほとんどないと思う
I'm glad that now Sakura can use your V skill in both triggers.
しかもデカキャラしゃがんでても当たるよくない
That makes me
こ
happy.
れはね、ダットリー持って他に何があるんですか？
But it's still like I wish there was just one other thing she could do with it. Because right now it's crush counter or triggers or not at all. It's actually not horrible in neutral, although I wouldn't call it good. It depends on the character you're fighting. I don't use it in neutral at all, personally.
さあジュニアさん頑張れ
違うでしょ。そうじゃないでしょ。
中盤振れないんだよねヒューゴ
中盤振ったら中盤に差し替えされるんですよ。
The dive kick can be really annoying for a lot of characters. The dive kick, as of Season 4, the dive kick from B skill is always safe. It's like -2 at worst. Wow.
つかめる
Snatched.
出た。
つかめる
Yeah, charge fireball into B skill is okay. But I meant just like a combo application. I don't need anything fancy.
2フレで切れるんじゃなかった
Unfortunately, you can't really use it in a combo sort of way, you know?
攻撃判定2フレで出るんだけど
Because even like a weak combo into it would be all 3 punches, which would be quite
レ
strong.
タスの持続みたいなのがあるの？
If it hit on the way up, that'd be cool. Like, but that would just be Chun-Li at that point. Sakura would just have Chun-Li's
そうだ、
V
投
skill.
げ優先の法則があるんだ。
通常投げも勝てる
そうだ。
But that's like the only way I can see them fixing it in any way.
今のがムーンだったら
An EX move to land it would be nice.
うまい
EX up ball into V skill, no. VT1 up ball into V skill, yes. If you get a crush counter launch, you can do EX up ball into V skill. You need a charged EX up ball.
ね、ゼロドットおかしい
Or I might have lied, you need a charged up ball. You can't charge the EX one.
これもう人類平等すぎてやばい。
でもアナゴさんなら
It depends on the character. Charged fireball in neutral is a lot easier to get than you would probably think. Against Abigail, it's like free.
俺が初めて会ったユリアンがアナゴさんだった
The problem is the ranges where you can successfully charge a fireball, if you do V skill cancel, you won't even land on them. Like you'll be too far away.
じゃあ相当あれですね、もう昔からの知り合いですね、コウセンさん。
福井さんに紹介されたのが
It's more committal than Gal's V skill, but it doesn't really take a different amount of time to charge than Gal's V skill. It's like maybe a bit longer.
あ、そうだった。
The problem is Gal can just stop halfway through,
うん。
and Sakura can't.
ユリアンとか知らねえよと
That makes Gal's a lot better.
終わってる
But in terms of the charging and then ending up with a 2-hit fireball that you can follow in, it's pretty similar.
これはユリアンというキャラをもってしても、
人類平等
But yeah, technically speaking, if you're doing it from close, the opponent could just do a fireball answer or hold up forward. And Gal could beat that, but Sakura can't.
うえ、
Nice.
え、なんであれ
Towards
抜ける
Fierce
の
Super Cancel, you don't see that very often. You just saw it there and it was like the perfect time to do it.
うまい
あのジャンプのあ、抜けた、なんとか抜けましたね。うまい。
4フレが置いてある4フレが置いてある
マジ？あー、チャ
Very
ー
nice.
ジだ
強えよ
ー。強えよ、このキャラ。
4フレの恐怖ステージからジャンプ抱いて
俺もこれ使えばよかったな、これ。広い
The problem with Sakura is that you need to spend a bar to get a instant anti-air. And also EXDP is not actually that good of an anti-air. So theoretically, if you throw a fireball
橋君頑張って
and they jump over it and you recover in time to block, you like kind of have to block. You can't crouch fierce that. You can't like DP that. You can EXDP it and you can BT2 DP it. So if you have EX or BT2. But EXDP often doesn't get the proper connect in an anti-air scenario. It kind of moves forward more than you'd want it to. So you can get the first rep and then go under them, for example. VT1, I mean VT2 DP ATR is quite good. It's actually very reliable. It's very fast, it's like 4 frames. And it has decent lock-in. Jab DP is not air invincible. It is just a good hitbox.
ゲージを貯めながら。
Sakura does not have an air invincible DP. Jab DP is a functional anti-air, but just because of its good hitbox. And it's not actually that great.
最強キャラ。
If you go in thinking it's going to be like a Kuma medium DP, you'll be disappointed.
ちょっと応援しちゃったけど
うん。
彼は敵だわ
しかも、なんだかんだ言って俺とコウシュンさんよく見たら同じチームだった。
お前とやりたくない
ふざけ。
I think Sakura will almost certainly get buffs in Season 5. and the buffs will almost certainly include better anti-air properties on DP. But I don't think that's going to be like a super crazy buff that's going to make Sakura great. But she'll probably get other buffs too. Yeah, there's no, you can't, there's no mix, you can't tell. You can't jump in on a Sakura fireball. She can't fake you out with an upward fireball because she telegraphs which one she's doing. The animation's different, the way she's looking is different. So, up forward is always a counter if the opponent's close enough to up forward. And actually, for what it's worth, up fireballs are really shitty at hitting jumps anyway. Someone needs to kind of jump in from like outside anti-air range to land into a up fireball. If you throw an up fireball, predicting a jump or like trying to bait a jump, and you're charging an up fireball or something like that, they will literally jump over it. Koshun. It's weird seeing Koshun written in hiragana. I recognize the kanji for it because the shun is just the Chun-Li, Chun, and the ko is just crimson. But I always see it written in kanji, so seeing the hiragana is actually super bizarre. Yeah, Kuma's got a good counter. Generally speaking, mid-screen you can't charge fireballs, but like 3/4 screen and beyond you can, and then you can follow them in. And even if the opponent approaches, like they won't get in time to punish you. Sean in particular has a Kara that he can do in second impact. If you're just talking about Sean, Sean can do a Kara like stand strong back fierce or something like that, and it gets the meter build from both normals. So when Sean's are whiffing buttons, they have like a glitch that they can exploit. In third strike, you only get the meter on the active frames of moves. And I don't know if it's always like that in second impact, because I don't think anyone else has Kara meter build. But yeah, Sean builds meter literally like twice as fast as other characters. The character who really just shuts down Sakura's fireballs in general is Kimi. Fireball invincibility is not super widely distributed in Street Fighter V, and meter is a bit more precious, so spending a bar to do it is kind of more annoying. But Fireball invincibility is worse than it is in Street Fighter 4, for example. But Kami's is really nutty compared to everyone else. Like there are other decent Fireball answers, like a Poison Flip Kick is not bad. But Kami's EX drill is pretty fucking lax. It's not very rewarding, is the thing. But it's like free. If you throw a fireball anywhere, you can't, it doesn't matter if you charge it. Literally, like if you throw a fireball if you're close to her, if you throw a fireball if you're mid-screen, if you throw a fireball while you're far away, Kami can EX drill them. If you're like super close, she probably can't react in time. But I don't like super close fireballs on a character who's probably going to be throwing out limbs. You have to do it from like inside her limb range. Does ground pound them? He can't ground pound absolute full screen, I don't think. But it's not like he's going to be letting you get absolute full screen that often. Some matchups is good, some matchups is useless. I think it works in over half matchups though. It's good for winning a fireball war if you're far away. It's useless up close though. But like, you know, against like Guile or someone like that, Ryu or Ken, if you're far away and you just like want to get close, you can charge a fireball and follow it in. And they've got to either respect it, or they've got to like throw up some fireballs of their own to like break it, which takes a lot of time, so you get in. I think Nikali could probably walk in the little distance he needs to walk in to get 3/4 screen so he could V-skill your fireball. I think he could do that in reaction to you charging a fireball. Oh, he made it. He was busy waiting for me to finish watching this video, and he made it to gold.
なんか起こすんだ、奇跡を起こすんだ。
奇跡を起こすんだよ。
攻守さえば奇跡を起こそう。
中足からの奇
そう
跡。
I think it depends on the Kelly. I think the Kelly can always rush down.
超噛み合ってる。死亡超噛み合ってる。
何も起きねえじゃん。
なんで止めちゃったんすか。
これ
炸裂を止めた。はい、いってらっしゃい。止めましたよね。
つまんない。
あなた止めました。
Following a fireball in is still good, even if you can't get V-skill mix-ups. Just purely because you will get to the opponent as the fireball's hitting. Most characters can't really do anything good against a 2-hit fireball, unless you've got like a reflect.
頑張ってくれ。
And if you jump it, she can ATR you on reaction. And then once you block it, Sakura is next to you and also plus. It's not amazing. Usually Sakura will just get like the chip from the fireball and then like a block strong, and that'll be that. But you know, technically it is a mix-up scenario. She wouldn't V-skill cancel it if she's charging from far away. Charge fireball into V-skill cancel is actually not very good, unless you get a crush counter sweep. But charge fireball into just follow it is quite good. Now Kelly could try for a V-skill as Sakura is approaching behind the fireball, and if that hits Sakura it would knock her down. But the dangers are if the fireball hits him in the recovery of the V-skill, and also if Sakura jumps. Both of those would be extremely awkward. In Kelly's fireball invincible move, well, it's not even fireball invincible, he's got armor. He's got one hit of armor for fireballs on the charge move, and that's not very good for a 2-hit fireball. So if Sakura actually does charge the fireball, it would theoretically quite awkward for him. But I don't really use fireballs like that versus Kelly. Nice push. And he went for the kill combo.
富永頑張ってくれ。富永、みんなが応援してるぞ。
さあ富永さんはみかんのお菓子をもぐもぐ食べてます。
中足が強いよ。
Yeah, a lot of characters can do that. Anyone with a DP. Nikeli, Ryuken, and you know, whoever else, Kami. They could just shut down the charge fireball V-skill mix-up even if you get a even if you get a crush counter sweep. I think that no matter what, you parry towards the opponent, even if the block would be a different direction. But don't quote me. It's been a while since I've done it, but I think that's how it works.
ユリアン、ベリラン。
なんとかしようこのキャラ。ちょっと同盟組もうよ。
もちろん。
ユリアンを殺すために。
そうね。
Ape escape when indeed. I'm between games right now, I can do it. Oh, we've got a cut. This video is in 2 parts, so I'm probably about to jump to the next part. I think they had a little issue when they were uploading it. And this is like over, yep. Okay, so we lost something. We lost parts of Koshun versus Shinobu. Oh, is that still? I didn't do anything to change it. Damn it. Mod, save me. I've been drinking grape juice since I sat down, and now I kind of have to piss. You guys enjoy this video without me. I'll be right back. Actually, I'm going to refill my grape juice, so I'll be right back, but slower.
やべやべ、ごめん。みんなごめん。怒ってブロードキャスト消しちゃった。ごめん。みんな帰ってきてくれ。ごめん、俺のせいだ。ごめん。みんな帰ってきて。 ごめんごめんごめん。マジごめん。ああみんな帰ってきて。みんなただいま。みんなただいまって帰ってきて。おはい、コーシュン。イエス、コーシュン。めっちゃ怒ってる。めっちゃ切れた。
富永さんが切れてブロードキャストを消しちゃいました。
甲春さんのセコンドについちゃダメ。
嘘
ダメ。
ダメ。EX はブロしても投げ確定じゃないですよ。好きでかいんでね、すごく。キャラさ感じてる？人さ
はい。
みんな戻ってくんのかな。戻ってこない？
When you pee and it's crystal clear, that was me.
半分回収してる。あ、戻ってきました。ドーラキャさん、おかえりなさい。
Bad games that I like. I do like Silent Hill Homecoming. That is a bad game. Additionally, when I streamed it, I streamed the PC version, which had like a bug that you couldn't dodge attacks unless you were using the knife. I've never on console it works fine. You can dodge with the fucking axe and the pipe, no problem. So not only is it a bad game, but I played a very shitty version of it.
ちょっとコーシュンさんだと
僕
ヒット率がね高い。
I definitely think DK64 is a shitty game, but also I begrudgingly like it. I'm surprised if anyone legitimately likes DK64. Which actually does seem to be a lot of people who legitimately like it. Which is funny because I think it's one of the most broken, stupid games I've ever played. I think the main problem with the game would be utterly fixed if you could literally just change Kongs at any time. That's like the thing the game's missing. And it's so obvious, they had to like manually program it to fucking only be able to change in a Kong barrel. You could just hit start and change Kongs, there's nothing like difficult about that to program. But it's really stupid when you've got just a chain of bananas. And it's like fucking yellow bananas for the first half of the chain. And then they just swap to green bananas. It's like, oh, I just need to come here again. But with my Chunky Kong instead of my Donkey Kong. Don't say the name Maple Story or else I'll play it. That's the Bath curse. If anyone in the chat ever comes in and says Maple Story, then I play Maple Story. In fact, I'll play Maple Story once this is done. I've been thinking about playing some Maple Royals, because it's old Maple Story, but also a bit like faster than actual old Maple Story. I was thinking about making a wizard. He almost full charged that. I never liked either pirate. Now there's 3. Now there's a bunch, technically. Because now there's like other weird pirates. Well, there's like cannon shooter too. What about Dragon Quest 5 and also 9 and also 11? What about the 3 Dragon Quest games I never streamed? What about the multitude of Dragon Quest spin-offs that I never streamed? Mine's Dragon Quest Monsters 3, which was a Japan-only GBA game. It's got a translation patch. I can stream it. Stars Kiefer from DQ9. I mean 7. What about 9/11? I've heard real nice things about Dragon Quest 11. This might be a spoiler, but I heard that the game makes you think it's over, and then it's not really over. But a lot of Dragon Quest games actually do that. 6 did that. 7 did that. 8 did that, actually. Cool setup. Like that one. I dropped it. I love when games make you think they're over and then the game's still like beginning. The first time I played through Fire Emblem 7, aka Fire Emblem, I got to the end of Lynn's mode and I was like, that was a really cool game. I like didn't really think it was over, but the game started playing credits and shit. And like telling me my characters and the friends I made along the way. But like also I used a promotion item on Wallace, like you have to. And, you know, that was the only character who got promoted, so I was like, you know, you can probably promote the other characters. But literally Lynn's story is like 1/4 of the game. There's like 40 chapters in Fire Emblem. And 10 of them are in Lynn's mode, 11 of them.
今ヒット確認された。ヒット確認連コインだった今。後ろ誰もいなかった。
The only girl I know in Dragon Quest 11 is Veronica, who I think is the first one you get. She's probably like the Rydia of that game. I know almost nothing about the game. I know who the main character is only after I saw they got added to Smash. I like didn't know that was the main character. None of the characters really look like the main character. The other half of Breath of Fire, since I did the first half. Oh, you want the good Breath of Fire games. I was gonna finish 1 and then do 2, and by gonna I mean never gonna. I distinctly remember it that was good. That was some good set play. I specifically remember 2 had a sound-based puzzle that was super hard. But I don't remember it. I hate sound-based stuff in video games, dude. I've got good ears, but like, it's just annoying trying to memorize fucking sounds. There was like a sound-based puzzle at the end of Ribbon, and it was like, it was awful, I remember. There was the entire sound-based area of Myst. The fucking Mars. It wasn't Mars, but I like to call it Mars because it was like a fucking weird alien place, and you had to like fly there on a jet. On a fucking spaceship, so, you know, it's Mars. I hate that fucking age. Anytime you have to memorize sounds. I used to play Picross a lot, but now I haven't played it in a long time. It used to be my go-to bathroom game. I get my DS and open up Picross DS. It's very fun. I'm quite good at it. I'm about as good as you can be at Picross, I think. The 3DS has the 3D one, I think, right? But there's also a regular one, isn't there? Picross DS had everything perfect. There's so many, like, there's so little to do in Picross. It's so hard to fuck up, I feel, but, like, so many fuck up. I just want to be able to eliminate holes in a line, you know? But so many Picross don't let you do that. Pokemon Picross sounds fun. I might go and download that. Is it on the store? Nintendo eShop? I doubt there's a physical copy of a game like that. There's like no physical copy of Pushmo and Crashmo, I think, and those are like 2 of the 3DS's best games. Best puzzles. Box Boy is legit one of the best 3DS games I've ever played, if not the best 3DS game I've ever played. And that's just a eShop exclusive. There's a sequel which I didn't touch at all. Box Boy. I should play that. Box Boy was made by HAL, the makers of Kirby and also Smash. It's interesting to play a puzzle game they made. My all-time favorite shitpost picture was Smash right when Smash 4 came out or whatever. Kimono Friends be cross. I've watched the first 2 episodes of Kimono Friends and it's very cute. What was I gonna say? It's the picture of Daisy submitting the request to be in Smash, and on the ballot thing, she writes in her name as Dark Peach, and she's looking all pissed while she's doing it. I saw that shit and I was dying. Dark Peach actually would have a better chance of getting into Smash than Daisy would. Dark Peach isn't a character. I guess technically there's like the fucking Dark Queen Peach from the end of Thousand Year Door. Oops, spoiler. I can't think of another evil Peach in any Mario game. Tommy drops that more than he gets it. Does Doom Guy literally have a character? I'd rather have fucking I'd rather have what's his name? Commander Keen than Doom Guy. I'd rather have Duke Nukem than Doom Guy. Duke Nukem is just Doom Guy, but like with a really shitty, hilarious attitude. I always liked Duke's voice. There's something real sleazy about the way he talks. Oh yeah, like that. I'm gonna rip off your head and shit down your neck. He's got a fucking super funny. Oh, I'm here to chew ass. That's from fucking Duke Nukem Forever. That's the fucking copy one. That's actually the funniest and best and only good part of the game. Is there's like an item that's like it puts a holoduke up and it's just like a fake target for enemies to shoot at and you cloak while you use it. And it spits Duke lines to bait enemies and all the lines are just a little bit wrong. My name seems familiar. Probably from YouTube. I do fighting game tutorials and also just fighting game replays. And also casual playthroughs of various video games, you might say, but people usually don't care about those that much. I can't believe we waited so long for fucking Duke Nukem Forever and then it wasn't even good. This is surprisingly possible for a comeback. Chun-Li saved the meter. Didn't believe. That was an air throw. I think. Let's watch again in slow motion. Yeah, that's an air throw. I don't even know what that is. Oh, is that the Toho fighting game? The second one? The one after Immaterial and Missing Power? I heard there were 3 Toho fighting games now. You play on a keyboard? Stop. Just don't do it. Sticks cost fucking nothing if you get like a shitty one. Buy a Hori, they're like 40 bucks. Wait, are you playing on PS4? When I play on a stick, I play on a Quamba Q1. I have a TE as well. I actually have 2 TEs.
ハロウィンだからミスった。
But I've got to say that the Quamba Q1 is the best stick I've ever used. It's smaller and cheaper and lighter than the TE. It's like a worse stick, but it feels a lot better somehow.
下手になってる？
The buttons feel nicer. It's not expensive either. Quamba Q1 is like 70, I think. Probably less than that now. An expensive stick is like 150, and then like a really expensive stick is like 250, and you're paying more than 250 for a stick, you should probably stop that right now. Depends on whether we're talking USD and where you live. Oh, that was a weird super. Chun-Li's super as a reversal is usually not very good.
ちゃんとやって。最近師匠見ないね。師匠誰？師匠いっぱいいすぎてわかんないっす。
エレスナイパー。
ああ、確かに。師匠そっちね。富永さんの師匠ね。
I got my TEs for like a half off for like a tournament with a coupon code. It was like 2 for the price of 1. I was like, okay. So I think I paid like 150, but I got 2 of them. And then I was gonna like sell one, but then I just kind of sat on both of them. I got them both signed at different times. One of them has a signature from Daigo. I heard Daigo was gonna be at 37.3 loaded. I brought my TE stick, I brought a marker. I held up my TE stick and I held up my marker to Daigo, and he was like, ah. And then he signed my stick. He understood it instantly. The other one has signatures from a whole bunch of people, but they're all like American players. It's got like fucking Gutex and Mike Ross, Maximilian, Combo Fiend, all them. If you don't have a stick at all and you don't have a budget, then feel free to get a cheap stick. Any stick is better than nothing. I was kind of joking. Of course it was obvious. Huh? If I fucking met Reinhardt, I'd get him to sign my stick instantly. It's funny because I don't use a stick, but I still got all these people to sign my sticks. That was like before who I knew. It's before I knew any of these people in a more personal way. It was back when I was a nobody, although I'm arguably still a nobody. Reinhardt is probably, I don't know about now, but when I used to watch him play Third Strike, he was probably the single best Third Strike player outside Japan. And then also maybe Justin Wong. Those were like the 2. And they're better than most Japanese players, or they were at the time. Reinhardt played Ken back then. There are a lot of people who own multiple sticks, man. In fact, I know very few people with 1 stick. Ibuki is hard to play and also not very rewarding. I'm assuming you're talking about Street Fighter 3. She doesn't really have a dumb flaw now. But she's like, she takes more effort than most characters to hit mid-tier. And then she's just mid-tier. But actually she doesn't really have a dumb flaw at all. Actually she fights most characters pretty evenly. She's actually quite well balanced. But of course being quite well balanced means that you don't have any good matchups, whereas, you know, Chun-Li fights most characters at a winning fucking ratio. So, you know. She's quite unique though. But she's not really oppressive. Usually. It depends.
あれはね、ピオリ回復理論負荷っぽいからね。あれ職場でいじられてる人人間、色白人間さんだ。
A lot of the low tiers are still cool because they can get a parry and then destroy you. And Ibuki can't really do that. That's a factor as well, I feel. Even though Hugo sucks, even though Q sucks, even though Alex sucks. A lot of people pick those characters and they fish for parries and they get big parries and they just fucking murk.
結構太くないバック捨て読み
But Ibuki gets a parry and she gets stand forward into command grab.
許さん
Which is okay.
許さないらしいです。
ソニック見て土佐並みは確定しないですね。
全然無理。
全然無理。むしろソニック食らうまである。
I only played Maple 2, I think literally twice, ever. So yeah, I'd say I've pretty much given up on it. It's not like I even disliked the game at all, I just forgot. Yeah, I thought it was kind of fun. And I really like... Wow, Makoto fell out! Crouching Makoto will fall out of Chun-Li Super 2. He wasn't blocking. For those who don't know, Crouching Makoto will fall out of Chun-Li Super 2. She's quite unique in that way, there's no one else who falls out.
強い。おう、松さんだ。
How easy is it to hit the max level in Maple Story 2? I like the way navigating maps worked, and I liked all the fucking crowd stuff that happened every, like, hour. That was actually super fun. And I just really like the way my character looked. I can't explain it. The aesthetic was really nice. I made a very cute girl. I think Maple Story 1 is extremely stupid because of how, by the wayside, it makes quests. Ooh, good shit. Got this done. Whenever I see, like, that kind of stuff, fishing in MMOs, is that fun for anyone? It's just another, like, number that you have to raise, which is all MMOs ever are. Especially the bad ones. But, like, fucking every smithing in every game. Is there anyone who likes fishing in any MMO? I don't want to play some fucking minigame at all. It's like every MMO has fishing, and I feel like it's not fun in any of them. I remember WoW has those. I remember seeing that. It was one of the first MMOs I played that had, what are they called? Professions, that kind of thing. The last game I played with fishing was Fire Emblem Three Houses, and it's not horrible, but it's like the same fishing minigame that's in everything. And it was like, I don't know, I don't care. I don't care about fishing. Of course, you never have to fish in Three Houses. There's a couple quests where it's useful to do it. But you don't have to finish those quests. Nice punish. I have not played the Link's Awakening remake yet. I cannot force myself to buy a game that I beat regularly for like $60 just to make it look nicer. I never did the fishing in Twilight Princess. I did the fishing in Ocarina of Time and I didn't like it. God, remember when I tried to stream Ocarina of Time recently and the emulator didn't support the fishing? So the fish always got loose immediately every time. And the only way I could catch fish was if I caught the fish right next to me and then instantly caught it. And I had to like use save states to actually get that going. That was horrible. That was like the only bad part of the run too. The rest of Ocarina of Time on emulation went extremely smoothly and was very fun. But I was trying for 100% playthrough, so I needed the scale and the heart. I know that Twilight Princess actually had quite a lot of fish, right? And it brought back the Hylian Loach, which was something that most people didn't even know existed in Ocarina of Time. I remember really minigames in games. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a minigame inherently. I was thinking about Chocobo Hot and Cold recently because I watched the a TAS of, it was like 100% TAS of I don't think it was 100%. It was a TAS. It was a commentated TAS of FF9. And there wasn't Chocobo Hot and Cold in it, but I was thinking about Chocobo Hot and Cold because, you know, I like Chocobo Hot and Cold a lot, not because it was that fun, but because, like, you got so rewarded for it. All the best shit in the game was locked behind Chocobo Hot and Cold. So I, like, vividly remember Chocobo Hot and Cold with suddenly having, like, a bunch of endgame gear. It's an okay game, and it does unlock the super boss, too. I think. Yeah. Right? You need the Chocobo to get there. The ... quest when you're getting warm. Right? Normally it's just que. Why? I have so many questions. It's like Chun-Li tried to get hit by that super. Parrying to jump back is such a weird thing to do in general. So like the only reason you would do it is like a hard read on something, and it looked like he got the hard read, but then the hard read just like, if he just blocked, he would have been fine. He would have blocked the super. Versus if he jumped back, he had to parry the super and he missed it. Command grab cancel, perhaps. You can do a button. It'll beat the command grab even if it's cancelled into. Makoto's command grab is not super duper fast. Maybe Chun-Li doesn't have a great button there. Maybe hard kick is too slow. And I think close hard kick's faster than the forward anyway. So maybe she'd have to do like a jab. Chun-Li is not horrible as long as it's not double Chun-Li, I feel. Especially when the Chun-Li's losing. That's also hype. Nice recognition of a meterless kill. That's an important skill with Makoto. Wow. He had to go for reset because he started with Fierce instead of Karakusa, so he didn't have a touch of Dizzy. Well, he didn't have to go for reset, but like it was okay. He wasn't going to get stunned no matter what. But this should stun. I thought it would. Wow, the fucking Torch Strong doesn't stun? That must do nothing. One of my friends, Plucky Pariah, has been playing Third Strike a little bit lately. And he commented that every now and then you would see like no stun in scenarios where it's like, you know, quick kills. It's like a kill, it's 13 seconds into the round and there's no Dizzy. And I was like, yeah, in this game, in Third Strike, the Dizzy is all localized to specific attacks. Whereas in Street Fighter 4 and 5, everything does about the same amount of stun as it does damage. A bit more stun than damage. Attack does 90 damage and fucking 150 stun. Attack does 60 damage and 100 stun. And it's like universal. It's like every attack does damage and stun, and they're pretty close to each other. But in this game, it's not like that at all. Aggressive parries. It's I think it's 8 hard punch. 2 hard punch is the body splash, and you can't do it on a neutral jump anyway. It's also 2 medium punch, but that's Street Fighter 4 and not 5. Up hard punches in both. Look at peeking. Look how small.
やる。それは
Nice parry, nice parry, nice punish, and this can kill. Makoto's in the corner. She got a fucking Tomy. That's the easy one. It's really easy to get. You can buffer the first dash, so you always get the frame perfect.
うまっ。さあどうする？冷静に大人ガード。
Bog's BT2 grab, and also Dirty Bull. I think Dirty Bull didn't do that much stun, did it? Was it 300 or like 600? It was either like, I think it was 600. I think it was quite a lot. The problem is if you start with a Dirty Bull, if Dirty Bull gets the Dizzy, then you have like the ultra scaling on the Fallout combo. So you start with like 80% and then you just go down from there.
なんか今、土佐波ぶっ放されたんだけど。
But if you get Dirty Bull and you don't Dizzy, then the opponent can potentially escape. The Pokedex cut? Oh, I didn't see the new full Pokedex. I just looked at all the Galarmons, and I can make comments on any of them if you want to hear them. I have a new favorite Pokemon, it's Snom. Snom is a 10 out of 10 Pokemon design. It's actually not the size of his testicles that allows him to go for Wake Up SA2, it's the size of his brain.
それもマイブロ？
And it's very, very small. Tominaga has so much raw skill, and yet the tiniest, smoothest brain.
下風呂した。下風呂したよ。講習さ。あ、サボっちまった。ヒット確認をサボった。
Tommy's actually smart as hell. Oh, that parry! He knew! He was like, I'm gonna do 2 stomps and then be ready for the parry. He was right. Unfortunately, didn't get him anything.
パーメチェスどう？
This is Koshun, isn't it? He's doing okay. It's going back and forth, but Koshun is one of the best third strike players, legitimately. So it's quite interesting seeing Tommy do this well.
こする。
There's the Chun-Li specific juggle that Tommy likes to drop. Honestly, drops it more than he gets it.
試されてる？
I don't think it's specific to Chun-Li, but it's like maybe optimal for Chun-Li. You might have to do it on Chun-Li because the other one doesn't work or something. I think it's easier. Because the Kara on light kick is not precise compared to the Kara on hard kick. And I think she only needs one of them, she doesn't need both.
お土産？10日ほど前の話？え、なんだろう？削りマン
But it's a different window.
受け取ったかな？
And it might still be pretty small. It's like technically you have a big Kara on light kick, but you've got to get it on specific frames to actually get the double DP. Can we talk about Snom? Okay, I'm not going to spoil every Pokemon, but if you don't want to hear about the new Pokemon that have been leaked, then you should cover your ears and close the stream.
ありがとうございます、削りマンさん。
But that Fire Centipede is 10 out of 10 as well.
だったじゃないんです
It's funny because every time I see anyone who's like seen all the Pokemon that have been revealed, the first thing they always say is, wow, I really like that Fire Centipede. It's like some of these are hit or miss, but that Fire Centipede, good lord. Firebug types are cool. It's a surprisingly good type, apart from the Quad Stealth Rock weak. Bug covers fire rather nicely and vice versa. So you end up with a pretty interesting list of resistances and not too many weaknesses. Just rock. It's pretty bad. And then you're weak to water, which is not that bad. It's very uncommon for a Mon to run a water move unless they are a water Mon. Most of the designs I feel are pretty bad. I don't hate almost any of them, but there are some that I acknowledge as being kind of stupid, or like bad, or not in line with other Pokemon, like Impidimp. A lot of people like Impidimp. It seems to be pretty split on whether people like it or hate it. And yet, my complaint is more that it's not like a Pokemon.
旅っぽかった確かに。
It's like a fucking Dragon Quest Mon.
ナイスガード。
It's not really an animal. It's not really elemental. One of them is literally an apple. I don't mind that one either, but it's literally an apple. You can't even say, oh, it's a worm inside an apple because it's grass type. It's the worm and the apple, baby. It's both.
最強技です最強技ですまあ確かによく出た
So anyone who complained about literally ice cream now has even more fuel in that fire. Because now there's an apple and ice cream.
まあ地上でブロすれば
Ice cream is usually the fucking Pokemon that gets mentioned. It's not the worst Pokemon design, I feel. It's not even that close. Garbodor debuted in the same gen, and it's worse.
ひろゆきさんお手本
But,
お手本
for whatever reason, ice cream is the Pokemon people mention when they mention bad Pokemon designs. They also mention Klefki, which is actually a pretty good design.
ファミって言われてるから
I like the top one, the top ice cream. Vanillux. The little ones I don't like as much.
なんであんな強いとかいかれてるよねあの技
Go Sword and Shield is... People hate Object Mons, but I think people seem to like Aegislash.
何してるさ
Aegislash.
あーちょっとお上手だ今のはなんか出したくなった
Most of the designs are kind of silly, but okay. I can pull up a list and give my opinions on every single one right now if I want.
あーええんすよ
これでもうリーチだからな
Object Mons are like kind of forced for certain types, like Steel and Electric and Ghost.
流れが来ない来なかった
Like you can only have so many like shapes for Ghost Mons. A haunted thing just makes a lot of sense. Which is what fucking Poltegeist is. And, you know, electric mons. Unless it's an electric eel, it's like how can you put an electric in a fucking
あー
animal?
あババアルさん
You can do what they did with like Luxray and just make it an electric animal, and that's fine. But it's also very easy to just make a fucking washing machine. That's a Pokemon.
ちゃんと見といた方がいいっすよコウシュンさん
A machine type, basically. Like Voltorb.
あんまりねまあしゃがみ台パン先置きして
The Grookey line is just fine. Here I am, I'm looking at them all.
求めるならブロタック
The Scorbunny line is great.
あジャンプ
I think Furbait make excellent Pokemons. The Saba line is stupid.
そうそうそうもうそれ
The Corviknight line is cool, and Corviknight is actually one of the best Pokemon designs I've ever seen.
だからもうただの運ゲーにするか
The Squirrel guys are stupid.
あのブロタックルにするか
The Wooloo and its evolution are cool.
とかブロタックルあしゃがみ台
The two little flower things are cute.
を決め打ちにして
Gossifleur and Eldegoss. I like the little one more than the big one.
出なきゃいけないし
そう
The foxes
あ
are
ともう
cool.
単純にあれだよね
The Emperor and its Evo are cool. I think I like the Evo more than the
そう
Emperor,
いう
to be honest.
結構やん
Alchemy is cool.
ミモラさんは
The Ladybug is a little stupid, but it's whatever. I don't hate it. Morpeko is stupid. Dreadnought is cool, but its little form is stupid. Headernet is my new favorite. It's my wife. I'm going to use it on every team. Ericud is cool.
そもそも
Cramorant is cool.
EX 剣使ったら
Little Cobra things are cool. Sinistee is kind of stupid. Roly-Poly is okay.
だと思うんだ
The elephant things are cool. Impidimp is kind of stupid, and so is its line. Toxel is cute, and its evolution is cool, so they both get a pass.
気がいるぞ
Snom is literally perfect, and Frostmoth is okay.
こういうのはダメ
Centipedes are cool. The Octopi are cool.
そうですね
Duraludon
キャットさんそれの違い
is
はあると思い
cool.
ます EX に履きやすい
Stone Journer or whatever, the thing's kind of cool.
けど誠の
Pincurchin, I like that. That's cool.
運ゲーです
EDD?
どっちが勝つかは運ゲーです
I don't know what to think yet.
ただ
Applin is stupid, but I also kind of like it.
それ以外は運ゲーです
Ice Q is stupid, and I don't even like it. Dragapult and its line are kind of cool.
剣道
Phalanx, I have no idea. The fossils are incredibly stupid, but I think they're designed to be. And then the legendaries are cool. There you go, that's my whole fucking list of all the new mons. Technically, there's some more new mons that are like forms and evolutions of forms.
友達流行って読んでた
The two fire centipedes are Sizzlepede, and Centiscorch.
しゃがみ中盤ヒット確認陣雷をしようとすると波動が出てしまいます。中盤を押しっぱにすればいい。
I want to see the Pokemon that got called. I'm clicking. I missed it. Oh baby, green's in, and red is form. So like half of them are gone. Where's Landorus T? Oh no, Ultra Beast made it. Sad. Where the fuck is Landorus T? He's probably around here somewhere. I just need to verify that he's gone. There's Landorus. Landorus isn't in. Whew. Thank God. Whatever, they'll all come back for fucking Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Sword, and Ultra Shield. I guarantee you they're already thinking about the version they're going to follow up with, and it's going to have more of these mods. It's going to be like Black and White 2. Time out for just a second while I review some of the things. I hate that Charizard got in, but not the other Kanto starters. Scizor didn't make it. Oh, baby. I don't know what to think about that. Scizor, like, I don't dislike Scizor at all. Scizor is an important mod. It's been there ever since the beginning. Orange means it has a form. You can see Meowth is green and orange because regular Meowth is in, and like other forms Meowth is in. Trying to download this huge fucking glut of information all at once. I think that Dexit was inevitable, and thus I don't really mind. They can't just keep on having every Mon when there's like 2,000 Mons. And Pokemon is a big enough franchise that I think there probably will eventually be 2,000 Mons. I also believe that they can do new versions of Mons easier if Dexit happens. I wonder if Arceus made it. Where is it? It would be like here somewhere. There it is. No, it didn't make it. Arceus didn't make it. I don't know if I'd call the models that Sword and Shield is using super high quality. Oh no, no love disc. How will I get my heart scales? I already know that you don't need them. Chimecho didn't make it. No. My favorite Pokemon. Where's Maractus? Where the fuck is Maractus? It's in Gen 5 Mon. Oh, a lot of Gen 5 Mons made it. Wow. Gen 5 did real nice. Ah, Maractus made it. Thank God. That was close. Alright, where were we? Back to regularly scheduled programming. You know what's funny is I've never used Maractus even a single time in any Pokemon game. No, Ampharos in the UK region is even weirder to me. Because sheep and dragons are like the two symbols of Wales. And that's literally a sheep dragon. Ampharos is the Welshmon. No Swadloon. Swadloon is truly the comfiest Pokemon. There are other kind of comfy Pokemon, like Comfey. Fucking Tommy just dropped the parry. Hi.
動いてたからね。
Swadlin looks unhappy, but it makes it look even cuter. It's like how Shroomish is unhappy and it makes it cute. Forms are just the way to not make the new Pokemon, but like give it the same Pokemon new stats and a new type. I don't think it needs that much explaining. Then you want to use a dark type Meow? That's like a bad form. That's a form that's not interesting. But there are plenty of kind of cool forms.
まあまだまだ先だからね。内容ってね。先なんすわ。
Icy Ninetales is kind of cool. Perfect example. うわーうまい。捨て捨て投げ。
温まってる。
でもひろゆきさん前俺がなんだっけ言ってたこれやってこれにね、すげえ今のすげえっすね。やり込んでるわ。半端じゃなかった。
こうしてみると富永さん旅苦手なんですね。
Yeah, it's really like stats and stuff that differentiate the characters in Three Houses. But I think that's kind of cool if you want to fucking put your Flame as a Fortress Knight. Ow.
今ジャンプしちゃったんじゃないの今。ジャンプしたから。
Why are there so many green shinies? They're right to complain.
相手が前に歩いた時だけヒット確認、ヒットする場合でしゃがみ中継
Green shinies are ugly.
仕込んでいるつもりですが、しゃがみ中継をガードされる場合って前としゃがみ中継をガードされる場合って
Dude, you know who has the worst shiny? Is Garchomp. Go look at it if you haven't.
そのしゃがみ中継を
Shiny Garchomp looks fucking exactly the same as regular ass Garchomp. And you know what's funny is there was actually a shiny Gibble given to the player in black and white. It was like an event, an in-game event. And it's like, wow, this is just like, it just looks like a regular ass Gibble. Looks like a regular ass Garchomp. Articuno also has an exceedingly shitty shiny. I think the shiny color is better than the base color, but they're almost identical. I think the new Cofagrigus is technically speaking an entirely new mon. It's got a different name and a new type.
ジャンプ移行モーション見たら法欲だって。
Yes, this is Tominaga, by the way. Especially with the 3D model, it's like almost impossible to tell the difference between the shiny Articuno and regular Articuno. They look the damn same. Shiny Mewtwo's ugly. I think that one's green.
見てなかった。こじらくで言うの。トミーさんの中パンの後のしゃがみ、大パンじゃない。しゃがみ大パンね。しゃがみ大パン飛べないっす。持続とかだったらなおさら飛べないっす。飛べないっす。
Oh, Tommy didn't try to contest it that time. You can just dash out the corner. Shiny Golem Brown. That is quite shitty. But also that might look kind of cool. I'm going to pull up a picture of it on my phone. They clearly tried a lot harder with some shinies than others. Look at shiny fucking Charizard, if you need any evidence at all. Shiny Golem looks the damn same.
どんだけエスパーなんだよ。
If I like ran into a wild shiny Golem, I like wouldn't think to catch it. Except you can't find the Golem in the wild in like any game. Shiny Geodude actually looks cool, it's gold. That's a shame to go from fucking gold to light brown.
ブロッキングすると唐草に食われるんで食らってきましょう。
Speed creep needs to die, to be honest. I was thinking about that recently. I was talking about it with someone. You know Alakazam? Alakazam has had base 130 speed since the beginning, I think. Or base 120, actually. So it outspeeds quite a lot of shit. For example, a Latios is outsped. A Gengar is outsped.
あれ小足なの確定でしょ。
A Starmie is outsped. So when Mega Zam was originally revealed, right at the beginning, a lot of people were like, wow, I don't even really care about this because it doesn't really get a super interesting change in stats. It mostly gets special attack. But Alakazam has Magic Guard, which is the ability you always run on it because it's a good ability, which makes it take no damage from anything except attacks. So it doesn't take any entry hazard damage, for example. And that also means it takes no damage from Life Orb, which is an item that gives you 1.3 times power, but you lose 10% of your HP every turn that you attack. So Zam with Life Orb, which it doesn't take recoil damage from, is stronger than Mega Zam. And so when Mega Zam was revealed, a lot of people were like, literally, why would I run this when I can just run Zam with Life Orb? Or even better, Zam with Focus Sash, since Zam with Focus Sash is kind of more unique and more interesting and more useful. Depends on whether you want power or like a guaranteed 2 attacks, which are different decisions. But anyway, Mega Zam also gets a speed boost, but that didn't matter at the time because Zam's speed was so goddamn high. It's 120 or whatever. I think Mega Zam's base 140 or maybe base 150. It's quite high. And now Mega Zam is one of the best Pokemon in OU, and it's generously better than regular Zam. And the idea is just that speed now matters, because now you've got shit like Ash Greninja running around with like base 121 speed or whatever it is. The speed creep has just gotten really, really high. 135 to 175 speed? They must have increased it at some point. I don't remember Zam being 130 base. Or I mean 135 base. That's such a weird number. Maybe it was 125 and they increased it to 135 between gens or something. Between Gen 5 and 6, I think, or 6 and 7, or maybe both, they increased a bunch of stats by like 10. Oh, that's special attack. Okay, so what was speed? Base 95 to 105 speed, huh? Those both sound super wrong. That sounds like it's like attack or something. Or it's special defense. Not attack. Find me the real last numbers, dude. I'm finding them.
中パンしゃがみ大パンがね、そのしゃがみ大パン下入れたくなるんですけど、それしか届かないでしょって。
Oh yeah, you saw SPD or something. Yeah, it is special defense, I guess. What the fuck is that? I want to know. I'm dying. 120 to 150. There you go. That sounds right. So that speed increase is huge now, because now there's a shit ton of mons that are like faster that you need to outspeed. And the thing is, it's not even just Scarf Mons, although Mega Zam is so fast it will outspeed most Scarf Mons. It also just outspeeds Mons with ridiculous speed stats, like Tapu Koko, like Ash Greninja, which are both above 120, I think. Mega Zam is a good metagame Mon too, right now. Works well with Lele, for example. Lele removes priority and also increases the power of psychic moves, both of which are extremely useful for Mega Zam. Oops, I caught myself talking about Pokemon meta. in a Street Fighter 3 stream. So when the battlefield gets weird, what the fuck does that mean? When Lele comes out, it has Psychic Terrain, and Psychic Terrain, the little flavor message is like, the battlefield got weird. What does that mean? Mega Mince is that fast? I knew it was faster than 100, but I didn't remember the number. It's the same base speed as Arceus too. Mega Zam is or regular Zam is as fast as God. .120 is not a super common speed stat. There's a decent number of things at 100 and 110, but 120 not so much. Yeah, Mega forms are apparently dying. There's some weird shit in Pokemon lore, yeah. Arceus created the universe with its 1,000 arms is part of its lore, but it doesn't have any arms, so whatever. And also humans and Pokemon are the same kind of thing. Technically speaking, Pokemon and like humans are... There's no actual distinction between Pokemon and humans. Humans and Pokemon have a common ancestor. It makes me wonder if you can put a human in a Pokeball. I don't remember humans getting caught in Pokeballs, but it's been so long since I saw the first movie. I don't know if you're specifically referencing this, but that is literally yes. That is it. That's the Japanese dialogue. The thing that talked about that was a book on a bookcase mentioning that humans and Pokemon used to wed. And it was okay because humans and Pokemon are the same thing, or were the same thing. But that got culled in translation because it was too weird. People didn't like humans and Pokemon getting married. Pokemon has some pretty dank stuff in translation that gets kind of cut. What about the lady who was like, she's like a beauty or something like that, and her dialogue is like, just last year I was a black belt, quite the transformation, don't you think? And in English that's just like, oh, she was like good at karate, but what is she really saying? But in the Japanese translation it's like, the word she uses for black belt is the name of the martial artist type of trainer class. So she's saying she was like the fucking martial artist, which is like, you know, in that game all male. And the word she uses is like, I don't remember the word, but it's like male intoned. And then she became a beauty. I don't know what a ace trainer is, or what a junior is, or what a lass is. I theoretically know what all these things are. And yet it's kind of weird that, like, you know, where are all the lads? Since lasses are so common. It's weird that like all these people can be cut into these very like specific groups. There aren't that many of them. Preschooler. That's my favorite trainer class.
ドインパクト大会、セカンドインパクト大会はないです。ボンバーガールマンさんが多分優勝して終わります。
確かに確かに風神テイクレベルラック信号
Oh, that was a good parry.
そう。こんばんは、今来ました。ギリギリですね。いらっしゃいませ。結局、後光が強いです。
Like, Alex not getting stunned even though Tommy got the combo. Do you want to be a super nerd? Because that's the trainer class.
全部森川店長が悪いの。全部森川店長が悪いです。
Oh, is it for like it's the special Pikachu from Let's Go? Probably, right? It's got entirely different stats from other Pikachus.
拒否した。
Floette has that too. There's like a unique Floette that Az had. That has entirely unique stats from normal Floettes.
そうなの
And also EB, yeah.
読めねえんだよな。ロバート・ハーレー・グリフィン・ベイカー。
I think the partner Pikachu is significantly better than the base Pikachu.
読めねえ。
But that's not saying much. I think the Pikachu isn't considered to be that good, but the Eevee is considered to be super good.
壊し中足っていう
Or maybe the Pikachu is considered to be good, but the Eevee's better still. It's because the moves... there's no items in Let's Go Pikachu Eevee. And also the moves Aromatherapy and Heal Bell got snapped by Thanos. So status still exists, but you can't cure status except Eevee. One of Eevee's unique moves cures status of the whole team.
そうだ DC があったんだった。
So Eevee is literally the only way to it's the only way to cure status in like at all.
でしゃがみ中パンもなんか普通に道着のしゃがみ中パンみたいな形してますね。 ロバート・ハーレー
That makes it sound like it'd be like basically essential since Gen 1 is frequently decided by
近い。
status stuff. And I imagine the remake would be kind of similar since it called so much. I think Stealth Rock was one of the moves that didn't get snapped, right? I think Stealth Rock is still in Let's Go. That was a nice parry into block. I got hit by that last Wednesday Night Fights. Arliath hit me with the reactable non-EX chop, and I parried it on reaction because that's what you do. And then he super cancelled it, and I got smacked.
その後の表裏食らって泣いてますね。
Is this it? I kind of want to see it. Yeah.
距離の話になって。戸惑いが
It depends. It's dumb that it's like that, but there are plenty of mons where they're still good. I think Skarmory's base HP is only like 70, which is not very much at all. But it's got like 140 defense, so it's like, you know, it's a lot. But it's kind of dumb when you have mons like Shuckle. Yeah, you can't move partner Pokemon to like Gen 7. So they made a separate tier that's like Let's Go, because the metagame's so different. Skarmory's not even the bane of Gen 2. It's nasty, but I don't think it had spikes in Gen 2. In Gen 2 it was only Fortress and Cloister with spikes. Skarmory was just fat, and it phased.
TC しこると笑顔になれる。
The actual monster of Gen 2 is Snorlax. Skarmory's not a fighting resist. It's fighting neutral. The thing about Skarmory that's really nasty is up until Gen 4, all fire types were special, and all electric types are special, and those were Skarmory's only two weaknesses. So both its weaknesses were special, and it's got crazy high physical bulk, which means that it was almost impossible to break it with a physical mon at all. Now you've got shit like Infernape. And that was really important because it would often be run alongside Blissey, or Chansey, yeah, Blissey, which is very difficult to break with a special mon, basically impossible. So having both of those mons on your team, the Deadly Skarm Bliss combo, is whenever they sent out a special mon, you would be able to wall it with Blissey, and whenever they sent out a physical one, you'd be able to wall it with Scummery. And nowadays you have mons like Infernape or Blaziken, who can just break both. But back then, Gen 3 and prior, you didn't. You had like mixed mons that could maybe do something if they were strong enough, but probably not. And you had things that exploded. And that was like how you got through fucking walls in that game. You just fucking popped. You had your Snorlax use fucking self-destruct. You had your Metagross use Explosion. Metagross using Explosion would kill almost anything. See that neutral jump hard kick for the meter build? Technically Executor explodes. I don't think it was ever common. It was common in Gen 1. I went through the list recently of the highest base attack Pokemon that learned Explosion. That was normal type, so it got stab on it. And it's Silvally. Silvally has the strongest explosion in the game, theoretically. The next strongest is fucking Licky Licky of all things. There aren't that many normal types that learn Explosion. Tauros was a contender for best mon in Gen 1. And so were a lot of the psychic types, like Slowbro and Starmie and Executor. And then there was also Chitsy and Snorlax, I guess. And then there were a lot of mons that weren't that good, but they were just important for the mons that you could fight. Is that with or without Sun? Because now Torkoal spawns Sunlight. Is that factoring in the burn? Is that like using the burn to break? No, because that would only be 30%. Yeah, Golem and Rhydon were important because they were the only way to fucking resist a Hyper Beam. It was probably a guaranteed kill with the sun up. Tauros did learn Blizzard. It's learned Blizzard every gen. I wouldn't call it a great move outside of Gen 1. In fact, I wouldn't really call it a great move in Gen 1. Tauros learns a ridiculous... Every normal type in Gen 1 learns a lot of weird TMs. In Gen 1, they wanted normal types to be able to use pretty much every TM. Or not all of them, but like, you know. Tauros can surf. So can Nidoking. And Nidoqueen. Snorlax can surf even though it's theoretically super duper heavy. Nidos are probably like one of the best mons ever for casual plays. They're perfect. They get such crazy coverage, they've got cool abilities. They're usually pretty early game mons. Super unique stab. Good stats. Yeah, they do look super cool. I remember pre-Sheer Force Nidoking. I'm a boomer. I remember when it used to run like fucking Rivalry.
の見てるとやりたくなるな。初め辛いっすよ。
まあこのゲームは見てる方が楽しいですね。
There's like no dragon moves. It's like, what do you even do with Dragonite? Dragonite doesn't learn any flying moves. It might learn like wing attack.
でもメゲン
I don't think so.
ちょびっと面白くなるかもしれないです。
Yeah, the combo of wrap and a speed boost was very uncommon in Gen 1. I think it either does learn fly or it learned it in yellow. Charizard didn't have fly in red and blue, but in yellow they made it so Charizard could learn fly. Yellow like changed some of the TMs.
なるほど。今
They do that every game actually. They like fix some of the kind of stupid stuff with the mid-game or mid-gen games.
見るのと
Like Cloyster couldn't learn spikes in Gen 2 in Gold and Silver, but then in Crystal they put spikes on Cloyster.
面白くなるまでちょっと時間かかるかなこのゲーム。
It's like they use it to modify movesets just a little bit.
人と一緒に用意ドンできれば。
まあ典型的な例なんですけど、RX さんの動画見たら俺最強になったんじゃないかなって思っちゃうような感じで見る。
Scyther was busted in base set, or whatever it was. It was like the first broken card
花田さん。
because it had a retreat cost of 0,
ボコボコにされるんじゃないですか。ラットリーマコトはほぼ五分で
and also its attack didn't require a specific type of card. It was like 3 normal type, 3 colorless energy.
まあ超大まかに言うとまあ5分付近でいいんじゃねえぐらい。このお絵描きってやつの時間が無限に吸い上げられる。なるほど。いや今これをラジオ代わりに聞いてるわけですね。この前友達みんな妹無理やってる時一人でサーブやってた。
I have not. I've seen the TAS. Haven't seen the RTA.
周りにいなかったとかっすか。あでもコマさんケビンじゃなかったっけ。
ケビン言うぐらいやつね。
ケビンだよね。
Cool buffer.
ガローは全くやんなかったかな。ガード方向で取れるっていうのが軟弱すぎて俺やんなかった。
あージャスト。あーなるほどね。足くんがやる気なかったでしょ。いやどうなんすかね。
The other really busted cards in Gen 1 Pokemon were Electabuzz and Hitmonchan, which were also super cheap to retreat and also required very little setup.
まあでも言うてね、富永
And they're all basics.
なんか
You don't need to evolve anything
キャラではないと
to get them going.
あのね、そもそもやっぱ剣が強いっす。
Is he close enough?
でもこれはね、
He is, but he's really close to the corner, so he's got to do this. EX is on shoe. Oh, I'm having flashbacks to Bungus's extremely stupid loss at last Wednesday Night Fights. If anyone didn't see that, Bungus got matched against a Chun-Li who ended up coming like pretty close. He ended up coming like 4th in the whole thing or 5th. He like did pretty well. But Bungus like could and probably should have beaten him, but just little things happened. But one of the things that happened was the Chun-Li was like over half screen away and did a raw EX Hazanshu, like the fucking straight up and down, and then instantly supered after landing and the super hit Bungus. I think the Chun-Li didn't even cancel the super jump, cancel the last hit. And it was especially tragic because Bungus beat that guy in winner's bracket, and then he got knocked down to loser's bracket by Moi. And he fought that Chun-Li again and lost the run back, and he was like kicking himself because he was better than that Chun-Li, but also like he lost because of like really stupid stuff that just happened to work. I don't know who Steelhammer is,
借り殺されてんね。
so I can't tell you.
やっぱりね。やっぱりね。あれムルムルさんも家そっち
Oh, a third one. Must be nice being a Makoto player.
あ実家埼玉
He got the double Fukiage twice in a row.
干された。
I wonder against 3 taunts cube you could do if that would actually be like a B&B. Not that I think the Q could really have full HP and have all 3 taunts up very often against
な
Makoto.
いですね。
But get the almost dizzy with the first one, get the full dizzy, and then build the 3rd meter and do the 3rd super. And you would need all that damage, and it would probably still not even kill Q. I like pretend complaining about other characters in Third Strike because I play legitimately the cheapest character in the game. Although he's not the best, he is the cheapest. Oh, are we done? Is it time for Bath to download Maple Royals? Hold up. I do have another East versus West, but it's 3 hours and 47 minutes long. Maple Royals. It's a Maple Story private server that would bore everyone here. What do I have that's less long than Third Strike in my fucking YouTube watch later? Why have I not played DKC 2? I never liked... I don't know. It's like the game I don't know my way perfectly through it. DKC 1 and 3, I know, like... Well, 3 I know back-to-back blind. I could literally just get everything. 1 is okay. It's a good game. 2, I only played a lot back when I was a kid. I never owned it. I just rented it from Blockbuster. And I have beaten it, but like I never tried to get all the exits. And also, like, or not all the exits, all the coins. And all the bonus barrels. And also, like, I don't know. Just because I don't know it back to back, it's hard for me to go back to it. But for a stream, I can go back to it casually, easily. I've got top 8, the Jazzy Circuit at next level. I've got CEO's MVCI top 8. There was MVCI at Wednesday Night Fights just recently. And I kind of wanted to see the archive because I saw War Destroyer playing and I was like, wow, he's running fucking Iron Man Power Stone. I'd really like to see more of this. I think Iron Man Power Stone is kind of a bad combo, but it's okay. But Iron Man does not combo well with Power Stone bounce. And the main point of Power Stone is that fucking surge. I have CEO's USF4 top 8. I got some things that have been here forever. I have an hour and 30 minutes of Candel playing Them's Fighting Herds. I have Yatagarasu Cab Tourney stream from 2015. We can look at that. Do you guys like Yatagarasu? What the fuck is this? Yeah, it negates this, like called fucking heavy duty boots or something. It's gonna break the whole metagame. You'd run it on Volcarona if Volcarona existed. So this is the arcade version, it's a fucking tournament. That's cool. Well, look at that matchup, we got a Chadha right away. Fuck Chadha. He's Hugo if Hugo was the top tier. I like this other girl, Kotaro, a lot. She's like shades of Ibuki, but she's pretty unique too. I like how it tells you the fucking kunai trajectory when you throw one. I'm remembering the mechanics. What's that meter underneath the health bar? Surely it's not a block meter. Dizzy? Not dizzy. Okay, he's got the thing. When you put this super on someone, you can like chain them. Like they get pushed back less by all of her attacks, so you get new combos. It's a guard break. In this game, every character has 2 supers, and you choose a super before the battle. But you can still do both supers all the time, it's just the super you choose is stronger. So it's like a weird mix of like super choosing from Street Fighter 3 and like having all supers all the time like Alpha. That cross up. That same fierce is super good. It ground slams, and you can do some combos into it as well. Look, there we go. Because he was in the... He had the fucking dagger stuck in him, the super dagger. That jab combo was super long. Kotara's cool. She's fun to play too. Are they playing first to 3? Looks like they got it on the wrong setting without meaning to or something. Yeah, they fixed it. Aja, she's the character I was kind of interested in. Oh, never mind. Azure. He's the other Shoto, I think. He's like the Akuma. There's Ko and Crow, which are the Ryu and Ken. And then there's this guy who's got like fireballs that he can drop from the sky, but not like air fireballs. I wish I never fucking read that comment that's like, why are there one-hit combo counts? Because every single time after I read that, I notice that every time someone lands a hit, it says one-hit combo. And every single time it pisses me off. The worst part is that the question was like on a fucking FAQ for the game, like asked to the devs. And the devs were like, don't ask. And it's like, fuck, why? Fix it, it's stupid. Goose Howard. So he does have traditional air fireballs, but the one I was thinking of is that super. Throw it into the mixer. You see that? Jump over, empty jump low. With the fireballs covering him. Got blended right there. That is kind of like Terry's crack kick. Crack shoot. Oh, I've been dying with all these Terry players in Smash. And they're like trying to learn the names of his moves and shit. I noticed. I was like thinking about it. I was like, oh yeah, I guess I do know the names of all of Terry's moves, like the bird knuckle and the fucking crack shoot and all that. Rising tackle. Not something I ever set out to do. It's just because he yells them when he does them. The Buster Wolf. What's the fireball? What's Terry's fireball's name? I want to say it's like Repukin, but I know it's not because that's like Geese's. Repukin. This thing. Power Wave! That's what he says. Is that the super? What's the super? I think the regular one's Power Wave. No, I don't know. Oh yeah, classic. Ryu vs. Ken. How did I call it last time I called these two? It's Ryu Ken versus Akuma Ken, basically. It's a weird mix of Ryu and Ken versus a weird mix of Akuma and Ken. These two characters must have been the first two designed. They're pretty cool. If you played this game and only played these two, you'd have a great time. Not that the rest of the game is bad, but I'm just saying these two are like good enough to be a full game in and of themselves. Power Geyser, yeah, I think that sounds right. So we got a very Ken style Tatsu there. I think one knocks down, the other one doesn't for the Tatsus between these two. So you got like a Ken style and then an Akuma style Tatsu. They both have the same like Shinshoryu kind of super, but one of them has a Fireball super like Ryu, that one. And the other one has like a Shoyu Reppa. That was the Shinshoryu one. To this day, I don't know whether Ko is a boy or a girl. That could be a binder, dude. That looks like maybe a guy. But no, it does not matter. Okay, we got an Aja player. Aja has literally like Aura's Loop. But apart from that, is more like fucking SF5 Poison. And we got Juzumaru, who's like Fei Long. Mitsuyon. No, yes. Look at Aja. She's got a. She can chain any special move into any other special move, I think. But she can only do like 2. And also she has a loop with that. She literally has a chicken combo. And then one of her supers makes it so she can chain 3. And that gives her some really weird, cool stuff. EX Rika. EX moves cost exactly half your bar, and all meters are the same size. And all supers stock too. I forgot mesh shows were a thing. Aja's so cool when she gets like a loop on you. But maybe it's not so common. That super did a lot. Juzumaru combos are super cool. Most of the characters in the game are insanely badass designs. The parry. The parry and the punish. He was just like not having it. I gotta show fucking this game to Bungus at some point. I bet he'd play casuals with me. We'd probably have a good time. I don't like parry that isn't tapping a direction. That's like my only beef with this game. Parry is a button. She's not a charge character. There's only a couple charge moves in this whole game. One of them's on Hanzo, I think. I can't think of this as a dedicated charge character. I can't remember one. Oh, one of the sword girls is a charge character, and the other one's Fei Long. Or not Fei Long. Why did I say Fei Long? The other one's Alforte. Hi. This is Yatagarasu, which is a game made by 2 KOF devs and a Third Strike pro. I think the charge one is the busted one of the sword girls. I think Chadha is also top tier, but I don't actually remember the tiers in this game that well. This guy's like an alternate version of the Shoto, so he's more like a fucking Sakura or like a Goken than an Akuma. He's not really trying to do the same shit they are, but his moves are obviously like in reference to theirs. His appearance reminds me of Edge from Final Fantasy IV. He actually looks quite a lot like Edge with the fucking white hair and the mask. I like play through Final Fantasy IV and I forget Edge as a character. Even though he's technically one of the final teammates. Like, you know. He's like part of the core team of the game. Although he's the last one to join. I think he's technically not the last one to join, right? I think Kane rejoins after he joins. But you get Kane first initially. One of these days I'll do a Final Fantasy IV playthrough on stream. I wonder which version I'll play. DS one? I think it's on Steam now, right? Or not? I could emulate the PSP version. A fucking demon? I didn't know he had that. Oh my god, he did another. Oh, the universal overhead. It'd be fun as fuck to just bring Yatagarasu to Wednesday Night Fights and just trick Bungus into playing it. Parries are more like less obvious. But yeah, they lead to combos less often, I think. I've never played the After Years. It'd be really fun to do an FF4 stream, a game I've beaten several times, and then do an After Years stream. It's got an Air TC and a Ground TC. We saw both of them. That was a parry and punish, I think. Maybe. There's a mouse on the screen. Those were parries. So I guess there's still like parries and red parries. You can like parry while blocking though, which is like, I don't know. Parries are no commit just like they are in Street Fighter 3. It's like the worst of both worlds, I feel. Is like you can have parries with recovery, like fucking Ryu's V-skill, for an example. And those are quite shit because you've got recovery that can be punished on reaction. And then you've got parries like Street Fighter 3 where you've got no recovery, but you've got to be doing something stupid, which is holding forward or fucking tapping down. Those are both quite risky to do in neutral. This game you can literally be holding down back and you can fucking down parry. In fact, you can be holding down back and you can high parry. You can literally parry overheads while they're blocking. But the idea is the window is a lot smaller. In general, the window is a lot smaller. The parry window is like tiny in this game. It's like 10 frames in Street Fighter 3, but it's like a lot less than that in this game, I think. And then the parry window is smaller still if you're parrying in a direction that you're not blocking. And you are blocking, for example. Oh, I got her with the, whatever that was, the low. I don't even know how air parrying works in this game. Do they both work? Do they give you different arcs? What's the point of both supers? Oh yeah, look at these confirms. Never mind, he dropped it. So some lives. Oh, never mind, I lied. Don't do that. Oh, he's dead. High and low, you mean? Do they both work the same? That's kind of stupid. I don't like the way parries work. This is supposed to be a fucking successor to Third Strike. If this game had Third Strike style parries, I'd like it more. I like some of the characters a lot, though. I like both of these two a lot. These were two of my favorite characters when I was playing. They both seem really easy to learn,
投げ
but with like a decent amount of
ブロ
depth.
ってるてかブロってるブロって再び立ち回りに戻るさあ NC で少しずつダメージを与えて
The double jab. One of the two Juzumarus has double jab as like
判定が冷蔵庫
free.
外して
Double jab is like it's like a TC for one of them, and it's a tight link for the other one.
最後めくり
But the one where it's a TC like loses something. They both have advantages and disadvantages, I think, but I don't remember what. I remember what like they both got something and lost something, but one of them had like that thing they shared. They both have like jab jab into combo. But one of them it was free and the other one was hard.
さあここはゲージ入ったがさあ小足からしっかり勝利までつなげて
I don't remember if there's a visual difference between the two Juzumarus.
最後は
It was like the color of the name that character select. One was black and the other was white. So people call them Black Juzumaru and White Juzumaru. That sounds like a female voice actor. That's the thing. They're going for androgynous. But that's a nice flat chest. Alright, so this is the El Fuerte, I think, Hina. This is the girl with the run. And all of her special moves are out of the run. And also she has like run, cancel, run stuff. Fierce, run, cancel, fierce is like a combo. Am I wrong? Is this the charge one? I was pretty sure this is the run one, but these don't look like runs. The two sword girls both have Dante normals. This is playing like a charge character. That might have been a run. If you hit the button fast enough, you might not really see the run. Their names are Hina and Shimo. I remember one of them had a launch on Crouch Fierce and the other one didn't. El Fuerte would probably like El Fuerte players would probably use their brain if he was a charge character. So I agree. Hina's not using meter. The two supers are shared between the two sword girls, and they're both extremely weird supers. One of them is like a sword rush, and it's kind of funny because it alternates low and overhead hits, I think. Why is civil servant in English? The other one is just a single tap. It's like a one-hit super. They just cut you really fast with the sword, and that's that. This is the stage. This is the super weird stage with the fucking face with the tongue that's nailed down. All the stages in this game are weird as fuck, but this is like the weirdest one. This game has like Street Fighter EX stages, where every single one is like trying to fucking compete with how weird it can be. Juzumaru, oh there's the jab jab crutch fierce. Juzumaru has like Yun's shoulder, I think, or it's more like Guy's shoulder. Oh, he dropped it. That's really weird and cool, having jab jab crutch fierce. And then going into 3 Rekkas from there. It's quite a nice little beefy combo. No punish. Juzumaru's two supers. One is like that big old palm that he just pushes at you, and it's quite good. It's got really good speed and good range. The other one's like a DP super that goes straight up. This guy also has fairly long regular DP, which this guy hasn't used at all. It's not like anyone's DP, actually. That's the Rekkas again. Is that the demon? I guess it is. So that was like an EX shoulder, I think.
さあ空中戦になってリプトンさんが1本取り返していく。引くまでこのゲームなかなか削りもなかなかバカにできないダメージですからね。
Those fireballs, those air fireballs look quite oppressive. Oh, see the link? You got the link to the punch super. That was cool. This game has normal special super and it feels quite good to do. Oh, EX palm of some variety. It's a mystery what the fuck that was. Wasn't EX Rekka, I don't think, right? Oh, there we go. Oh, he got it. Anti-air parry, jab, jab, crouch, fierce, Rekka, Rekka. Mario is cool. Azure and Co. Azure looks real good. I wonder if he's top tier. He was like a DLC character. He and like someone else, Aja, were like added later. Or DLC is the wrong word. He's like a character from the finished game. This game was just like a fucking download that was floating around forever. And then they had a beta, closed beta on Steam, and then they released the game on Steam. And the full version had pretty much everything except a couple new characters. Otherwise identical to the version that was floating around. They are. Oh, the fuck, that was the Shinshoryu. For how hard it is to land, it's really not that strong. The range is very small. It's like harder to land than Ryu Shinshoryu from Street Fighter 3. Ryu Shinshoryu has like a lot of phantom hitboxes, but this one doesn't. It's teeny tiny. You gotta be touching the opponent. Like 2 crouch jabs and you're already too far away. One of them had more range than the other. That might have been the lower damage, higher range one. Because they weren't technically exactly the same. One of them allowed a follow-up combo, I think, and the other one didn't. That combo's cool. That wasn't an RTC, it was like a jump cancel. Yeah, it's like crouch, fierce, super jump, air button. Looking pretty hard to win. Yeah. Whoa. He let that hard DP rock. It looks like I recovered pretty fast. I'm getting the feeling this is the charge one. Unless she does some running right now. Look at these Dante normals. Those are actually all special moves. She does have Dante normals though. Okay, now I'm like certain this is the charge one. Because that's like the one motion move the charge one has, I think. Who was just like, hey, let's have a girl in a Seifuku and let's give her a sword. This is like 2 characters just got fucking mixed together in a blender. Something about their energy reminds me of Panty and Stalking. This one's got Panty energy. Cool combo. It kept going. I think she had a loop of like those instant air EX flips. You have to do them super low to the ground to get them like he did. That combo's a lot harder than it looked. That's Black Juicy Mario.
縦線今から西パス巻き投げはジャンプしてる投げを通して
Do you have the best windscreen if you're just the cutest girl? Since the windscreens are just pictures of the character.
遠視遠視確認から真空波動決めてアキナさんまず1本
This game was apparently made for pennies by a very small number of people. This game made a teeny splash. If I made a fighting game, it would doubtlessly have an even smaller splash than this. When I think about it, though, this is what I want to do. I want to be able to make my Third Strike-esque fighting game. But these guys did it. Arcade-only update. Not coming to Steam. If they're going to make the game. My fighting game that I want to make would indeed have a Nabuki clone. But it wouldn't have a visual design. That was the cancel to the Shinshoryu. You can see it like knocks him away for the third hit. The other one knocks him up. Crow's Shinshoryu. That guy just choose Maximilian as his fucking commentator. Anti-air parries, alive and well. EX dash. Oh, that probably would have killed. Sad. I think I'm going to bed pretty soon. 6 a.m. and I feel like if I closed my eyes I would probably fall asleep. So I'm trying to fucking stream without blinking. Fortunately this video is almost over. In fact, it's 2 minutes from being over, which is a bit too close. Yeah, that was the launching crutch fierce. I think that was on the charge one. So this is the charge one. I always see people pick the charge one. No one ever picks the fucking El Fuerte. El Fuerte is not exactly a popular character in Street Fighter 4. And the El Fuerte in this game like doesn't even have like regular combos. No, the El Fuerte really has a whole lot of regular combos. What does he have? Like fucking close fierce into quesadilla bomb? That's still not that regular. So you have to be holding a quesadilla bomb. Fortunately, El Fuerte has a lot of useless kicks, so holding a quesadilla bomb actually is very easy. Hard kick into guacamole like throw. Guacamole. This is Yatagarasu. It is a fighting game made by 2KF devs and Umezono, the Third Strike god. A Third Strike god. It's a very small fighting game, but it's quite interesting. Yatagarasu. She is cute. I like that she's showing ass. I want to find some fucking Shimo. It's on Steam, so you can just buy it. It's not expensive. Please hold while I open Steam. Store. Yatagarasu. It's 15 bucks. That's more expensive than I thought it was. But there's a free demo, and it's probably just the fucking... It's probably just the version that was floating around online forever that was free. I think it was 15 bucks when it was released, so I guess it hasn't dropped. Is Death Stranding just out? Rivals of Aether is $15. You probably get more fun out of that, to be honest. I was kind of eyeballing Rivals of Aether. I was like, should I buy this? I was thinking about it. It looks cute, you know? It looks like a fun little fighting game. And the animations are pretty. I think I'm done streaming for the night. I don't even have anything on stream right now. I'm pretty tired. It's been Gucci, my guys.